It's Wednesday, April 15th.
Sounds like a political game to me. I don't think it's really going to make a big difference.
Pausing the gas tax. There's mixed reaction this morning to the Prime Minister's move, hoping to bring relief to drivers.
What we need to do is to pivot to support that community.
The province appointed 4 new members to the RM of Sherwood Council after the Reeve and councillors quit last month.
I think I just want a fresh voice, someone new.
The major shake-up behind the bench for the Regina Pats. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning, Saskatchewan. It's the 15th, not the 18th. I'm very ahead of myself already.
That's okay.
I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle. Thank you for starting your day with us.
And as tradition has it, Kayleen has taken today off, so let's show you a beautiful map of what she has left you with. These are special weather statements.
Yeah, we're not looking great today, but...
It's overnight, right? It's not until...
It's in the evening. It'll be overnight, yeah. But some warmer temperatures are coming eventually.
Oh, well, isn't that pleasant?
So that's nice.
Isn't that pleasant? Let's get straight to news. We've got a lot to get to this morning. After securing a majority government, Prime Minister Mark Carney says he has no plans to call an election.
So you're not considering calling an election?
Not considering calling an election. Absolutely. Look, I think very clearly Canadians want government to govern.
Liberals secured a majority by winning the 3 by-elections held this week, along with 5 floor crossings that have happened over the last several months. But it is a slim majority, and the Prime Minister says he will work with other parties. Now, this is very Canadian. The Prime Minister took to the rink with Finland's president yesterday for some diplomacy on ice. 2 leaders skated with members of the Ottawa Charge. Finland's president, Alexander Stubb, says he trades texts with the Prime Minister every day. Finland and Canada are looking to develop closer economic and defense ties. After losing in 3 federal by-elections, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says he has no plans to resign.
I will continue to lead that fight in this House, across this country, and in the next election.
The Conservatives' vote share shrunk by more than 10% in the 3 ridings compared to the 2025 federal vote. The party even dropped to 3rd place in downtown Toronto. And in the closely watched Terrebonne riding, the Conservatives slid from 18.2% in 2025 to 3.3% in the by-election. Prime Minister Mark Carney was also asked yesterday whether he thinks Poilievre should resign, but he declined to answer, calling it an unfair question. The government of Saskatchewan says it's beginning a comprehensive review of the province's Farm Security Act, aiming to engage further with public stakeholders.
And they're unwilling to this point to go back and do a review and an audit of past transactions.
We found no evidence of that. We've done declarations, and if people have a complaint or they feel it is, they're free to phone the Farmland Security Board and they'll investigate that situation.
Agriculture Minister David Merritt says the initial review found no evidence of foreign ownership of Saskatchewan farmland under the current legislative framework. The review will also explore opportunities to improve ownership verification, boost reporting obligations, and the oversight of permanent residents, along with making it easier for the next generation of farmers to purchase farmlands. On the heels of securing a majority government win in the by-election, the Prime Minister announcing the temporary suspension of the federal gas tax. Starting Monday, you will pay about 10 cents per litre less until Labor Day. It comes as global oil prices remain volatile and tensions between the United States and Iran as well. The pausing of the gas tax will also take about 4 cents off of diesel and lower costs of aviation fuel. Saskatchewan's Prime Minister welcomes that move.
We welcome affordability measures. That's something that we've been focused on in a different way, in cutting income taxes, cutting taxes across the board for Saskatchewan families since we formed government, and always, looking as to, how can we do more, but how can we do more in a permanent and sustainable way.
The government is also looking to do more on affordability while living within its means as one of the most affordable places, he says, in Canada. He did not entirely rule out conversations on a break in the provincial fuel tax as part of those larger discussions. We'll have more on that on our website, CTV News Regina and CTVNewsSaskatoon.ca. Regina senior citizens were at the Legislative Building to voice their concerns on a policy which they say is forcing them out of their homes. The policy is being applied through housing authorities in the province. It is focusing on individuals who qualify for senior housing and asking them to leave in an effort to free up units for families.
I have to start all over again. Why should I at 74 years old? That's just not right. It doesn't matter how old you are. Why can't we just stay and be happy for the rest of our lives, whatever time we got?
This yesterday afternoon, seniors met with the Minister of Social Services to discuss that issue. Saskatchewan's urban municipalities are advocating for the modernization of tax collection, opening the door for more revenue generation opportunities. The City of Regina came up with the idea, and it was adopted by SUMA committee members, delegates, after more than 89% of membership voted in favor of that resolution. It hopes municipalities can bring forward alternative revenue options, collect its own education property tax, restore a Sask power payment in lieu, and remove PST on civic construction projects. Currently, cities receive provincial funding through revenue sharing, which is tied to PST, but officials say increases are not keeping up with demands.
We're expected to spend about $9 million in PST in construction costs. So out of $60 million, there's one sixth of that already going back in PST.
We need expansion because that increase is not keeping up with what we're seeing on the increase in, the change in inflation, the cost of products that we have to put into our infrastructure. It's not growing appropriately.
The province reviews the Municipalities Act and available tax tools every 4 years. Minister of Government Relations Eric Schmalz says he is open to discussing the expansion. Time for a traffic update, Jeremy Dodge.
Yeah, Daryl, 'tis the season, right? Drivers in the city of Saskatoon getting used to construction tie-ups on College Drive. The 4-month-long project's part of a $1.5 million repair to an archway near Spadina Crescent. But there's also the $50 million Link project, preparing College Drive for the upcoming bus rapid transit program. The city says there are plans to mitigate the traffic that comes along with construction season.
One of the changes we're making shortly is at Broadway Avenue and 12th Street to allow more time for that southbound left turn. So we do adjust signal timings, but we do it reactively after people have adjusted.
The construction is expected to be done by late July. The Prince Albert Police Service is shifting resources to focus on addressing robberies, which have become an issue in the city. Now, in January and February of 2026, 24 robberies were reported in Prince Albert. That's a jump from the 10 reported in the same time period last year. And trends continue to fluctuate as instances of overall property crime saw a decrease compared to last year. The police service says it's taken notice of the uptick in robberies and is responding with targeted enforcement.
Those statistics and that data really do help us determine where do we need to deploy our resources so that we can tackle it and improve public safety in Prince Albert.
Deputy Chief Farika Prince says the service will keep a close eye on the complex needs facility scheduled to open later this year to see its impact on crime trends as well. All right, Daryl, Air Canada overhauling how its planes look on the inside.
The airline unveiled a new look and new features that are part of a cabin redesign.
We've got 93 brand new aircraft on order. And the last time we came out with a new Interior was about 10 years ago.
We're bringing the beauty of Canada.
Canada is introducing a lie-back seat on some flights, as well as big screens and larger overhead bins. Many of these upgrades, of course, targeted at luxury flyers. But what do we know about economy? What do we know about those folks like myself? Well, we can expect new ergonomic seats, Bluetooth audio, and high-power outlets. The rollout starts apparently this summer. Yes, it was an earthquake that rattled parts of eastern Ontario and western Quebec at lunchtime yesterday.
Was a lot of shaking, like a lot of the ground, the building. As I said, it was like a big wave that came over us, just came and went.
A lot of shaking going on. Take a look at your screen. Earthquakes Canada has confirmed a magnitude 3.9 earthquake hit at about 12:36 local time. The epicenter was about 20 kilometers northeast of Shawville, Quebec, and some people report feeling it as far as Toronto and Montreal. Experts say the area where it struck is part of the Western Quebec seismic zone, and that is not uncommon to have about a dozen earthquakes felt each year. The Regina Pats are making a change behind the bench. The team announcing yesterday they will not renew the contracts of head coach Brad Haroff for assistant coach Ryan Smith. Haroff spent 3 seasons as head coach with a 63, 118, 7, and 16 record. They did make the playoffs this year, but the GM felt it was time for a move.
I think there's some maybe philosophical things that might not align between Brad and I, but for the most part, I think I just want a fresh voice, someone new. He was with the organization a long time, good man, built tons of relationships, but I just think it's time for a new direction.
Dale Durkach will be on the show at 7:30 this morning to discuss that move. Warmer weather means more outdoor activities, including golf. Yesterday, 3 city courses, Tor Hill, Murray, and Jeannie Golette in Regina opened their driving ranges. That's exciting news. The courses themselves are expected to open later this month. That was until Janelle Lepie joined us to tell us that there's more snow on the way, and that's probably going to be backed up.
Yeah, so we are expecting quite a bit of snow. However, we won't really be seeing that until the early hours of tomorrow morning. Right now, we are looking pretty good out there across Saskatchewan. Currently here in Regina, we are already at 6 degrees. So again, that temperature is warming up. A little bit gusty out there as well, about 26 km/h winds. Over to Saskatoon, looking a little bit more gray, 1 degree currently. Those wind speeds lower at about 11 km/h. Now, Saskatoon is expecting to see those clouds sticking around for majority of today, whereas Regina seeing a little bit more sunshine for the time being. Now let's take a look at our futurecast. We can see that system moving through the province and then another system. So snow is coming. Let's talk all about these snow amounts because we are expecting to see quite a bit. There is that special weather statement in effect. So today we're under the yellow snowfall warning. Currently we can expect anywhere from 15 to 20 centimeters with that heaviest accumulation expected over southern regions. So this is about noon tomorrow. Regina expecting currently to see around 29 centimeters. Moose Jaw 31, Prince Albert a little bit lower at 8 and Swift Current 16. Now let's take a look at our current temperatures here in the province. Buffalo Narrows is at -13, Stony Rapids -26, Spiritwood and Prince Albert both -3, Hudson Bay at 0 degrees along with Kindersley. Swift Current 5, Easton 2, Yorkton at 5 as well, and Estevan 7. Here's a look at our highs for today. Again, seeing those snowfall warnings in effect. The Battleford seeing about 1 degree for their high. Swift Current pretty gusty and 13 degrees along with Moose Jaw. Yorkton at 8 degrees and Estevan 17. Now for our 7-day forecast, here's where we can see some of that snow and how long we can expect to see it sticking around. So today in Regina, 15 degrees for our high. Again, seeing that sunnier day today, but we are getting that snow tomorrow. -5 as the high. On Friday, we are wrapping up the week with a little bit more snow and -4. Saturday at 2 degrees and Sunday starting to see that temperature warm up again at 8 degrees. Over to Saskatoon, 1 degree today. Tomorrow, snow along with Friday. Friday's high will be -2. Into the weekend, 3 degrees on Saturday, warming up again on Sunday with 5 degrees and seeing that sunshine returning. Monday, we are starting off a fresh week with a beautiful 15 degrees. In case you missed it, today is National Canadian Film Day. The annual showcase of the country's cinema includes 2,000 free screenings across the country. Every province and territory is participating in the event, with schools, libraries, senior homes, and theaters across the country showcasing movies. Cannes Film Day was first launched in 2014, celebrating Canadian stories and the achievements of Canadian filmmakers.
Jeff Rockstead just had a conversation about this very thing on this program. That's available on our website. Brought us to our question of the day, and we thought, should we ask what are people's favorite movie? No, let's do the opposite. Let's ask what's the worst movie you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Jeremy, what springs to mind?
Okay, first one that always comes to mind. In 1995, a movie called Mortal Kombat came out. And it was a lot of fun, great techno soundtrack. But then 2 years later, the sequel, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, came out and is a train wreck. You can actually watch the money run out about halfway through. It's so bad. That's the one that always springs to mind.
I could one-up that easily, but what do you got?
Mine might be a little controversial, but I would say probably Mean Girls, like the musical version, the most recent one.
I think some people agree with that.
Yeah.
Titanic 2, if you ever get the chance, it's a real movie. It's horrible. It is the worst thing.
What even is that? Where did you see it?
It was on one of the streamers, and I couldn't look away, and I really should have.
I want to watch it.
We want to hear from you. Text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply. Scan the QR code. JD's got some health news on the other side of this short timeout.
As Canadians and Americans continue to take significant financial hits at the gas pump amid record high prices, U.S. President Donald Trump is waving away concerns over the cost of fuel and says he's more than content with crude oil prices at $92 a barrel amid the ongoing U.S. blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Speaking to Fox Business Network host Maria Bartiromo in an interview that had been taped late Tuesday, Trump said he was very surprised that crude prices were only at $92 a barrel and predicted that the war could be over very soon, while suggesting that the hit to Americans' pocketbooks has been very worthwhile because the war has degraded Iran's ability to develop a nuclear weapon. More than 36 U.S. senators from both parties will urge the Trump administration on Wednesday to extend the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement in spite of the president's skepticism. We support efforts to fully enforce the existing terms of the agreement, curb unfair practices, and address outstanding trade barriers that disadvantage American agriculture, Senator Steve Daines, a Republican from Montana, and other lawmakers wrote in a letter to U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer. And it was shared first with Semaphore. Officials must agree this year to extend the pact, which President Donald Trump signed during his first term, past July 1st. Greer said this month he'll reveal the U.S. position at the start of June. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Have you ever wondered what happens when you call 911? Our Mike Siona is in Prince Albert learning all about it. Mike.
Well, it is National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week across the country, and I'm here in Prince Albert with Lyle Karasik at Parkland Ambulance, and wouldn't you know, we've got some public safety telecommunications going on behind us.
Absolutely, Mike. We're here in our Medical Communications Center North up in Prince Albert, and thanks very much for showcasing the week here. And it is that important week when we showcase our team, not only here in Prince Albert at our Medical Communications Center, but the two other medical communication centers in Saskatoon and Regina, and the rest of our public safety partners, whether they're at Sask 911 or maybe in some other dispatch role across this great province.
And it's such a critical component to it. I mean, the logistics piece, we know we dial 911 in the event of an emergency, and it doesn't just magically happen. I mean, these are skilled workers that can save lives.
Oh, absolutely. These are some really great specialists that we have here in our telecommunications team, and they're responsible for those medical communications. So when you as a person in this province, dial 911. You're going to be routed to one of the medical communication centers if that's what your need is. And we're going to learn a little bit what they're going to do today and hopefully help them save some lives.
No doubt. Yeah, it's going to be really fascinating. And of course, make sure that you're paying homage to those that do this challenging and very, very impactful job. And as Lyle says, we're going to figure out a little bit more about what goes into it. And maybe I can convince you to let me wear a headset here, just for practice, of course.
We'll try. We'll try.
Stay with us.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Looking forward to that throughout the morning.
School Day Forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. In Regina, by the time you get onto the bus, it'll be about 6 degrees. By lunchtime, 13, and about 3 p.m., final bell, 15 degrees. In Saskatoon, by the time you get onto the bus, 2 degrees, a little bit cooler. By lunchtime, 1 degree, and 3 p.m. final bell, still sitting at that 1 degree mark. Now let's take a look at today's gas prices. In Regina, the common cost to fill up is $169.9 and about $154.9 on the low end. And over in Saskatoon here, common cost is $171.9 and as cheap as $161.9. Taking a look at farm markets, the street price of canola is $648.13 per ton, and the futures price is $704.10 per ton. Amber durum wheat is $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat is $279.02 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 72.69 cents US. When we come back, incredible video of a suspected arson.
.30, good morning. Thank you for being with us. U.S. President Donald Trump says he thinks the Iran war is close to over.
Well, you keep saying was. Is this war over?
I think it's close to over, yeah. I mean, I view it as very close to over. You know what? If I pulled up stakes right now, it would take them 20 years to rebuild that country.
President Trump made that comment in an interview with Fox Business airing this morning. He also suggested yesterday talks with Iran and Pakistan could resume in the next 2 days. Tehran says it has no information about new talks. Meanwhile, the U.S. military says its blockade of Iranian ports is now fully in effect. Israel and Hezbollah traded strikes this morning. This comes a day after Israel and Lebanon held direct talks in the U.S. for the first time in more than 30 years. Hezbollah is not involved in these negotiations, and Israel has said it will continue operations against the group. And look at Beirut this morning. Canada, along with the UK and Australia and 7 other countries, have issued that joint statement. The statement condemns the killings of UN peacekeepers in Lebanon while calling for an end to hostilities. The RM of Sherwood again has full staff, almost 4 new members elected to fill temporary vacancies. It comes after the RM's Reeve and 3 councillors resigned last month with no reasons provided for their departures, leaving the council with less than half of its members. The province now confirming it has appointed former Saskatchewan Association of Rural Municipalities President Ray Orb as Reeve, with Mitch Huber, Donna Strudwick and Judy Harwood named council members.
What we need to do is to pivot to support that community. And in doing that, we look to people who have had municipal experience before, so that there's not a long onboarding process. And obviously, when you lose quorum, you lose the majority of your council. So we want to make sure that we're appointing people that are skilled municipal leaders that have had a tenured service in other municipalities as well.
Bill Huber is the former Reeve of Edenwald, while Harwood was previously serving as Reeve for the RM of Corman Park. They will serve until the election held in November. Sherwood's next council meeting is set for Monday, the 20th. Regina police have released surveillance video of a suspect behind the arson of a vehicle in East Regina in hopes the public might be able to help. Hopes you might be able to help. Take a look on your screen. This is dramatic video. Happened around midnight on April 11th on the 4600 block of Mertry Crescent. Look at that. The suspect lights a match and throws it inside the vehicle. vehicle, causing a small explosion. Afterwards, police found a rag sticking out of the gas tank entrance and a broken window believed to be from a rock. Anyone with information might have seen anything, call police or Crime Stoppers. Saskatoon's Tribal Council Emergency Wellness Centre in Fairhaven is undergoing renovations. The Wellness Centre is getting 10 new showers and 13 new washroom stalls and a commercial kitchen. Tribal Chief Mark Arcan says renovations are needed for the 106-person shelter because it only had 2 showers. He adds the commercial kitchen will help as they are currently preparing all 3 meals off-site. The STC received $1.4 million from the federal government, $975,000 from the province. Arcan says the province owns the building and STC manages that centre.
When we look at all of these renovations, we think it's a positive outcome based to help out the relatives in a good situation.
Arcan says he hopes the renovations can be complete by March of next year. Saskatchewan's newest casino is one step closer to reality. Plans to relocate and redevelop the 30-year-old Gold Eagle Casino were unveiled by the Mosquito Grizzly Bears head lead man nation yesterday. The $100 million hotel, casino, and convention center project will see the Gold Eagle Casino move to an area along Highway 16 in North Battleford near the river. Ground construction will begin building in the late fall or early next spring. Construction will take roughly 2 years, they say. Chief Tanya Stone says getting to this point took decades of hard work behind the scenes.
It's just an unbelievable feeling that the elders gave us a mandate to work and figure out the whole Gold Eagle Casino situation. It's really difficult to find the proper words because I don't really know if people really will see like how much work was done behind this.
200,000 square foot project is expected to create 350 jobs for construction and more than 400 permanent jobs once it's ready. SIGA estimates 500,000 people will visit that casino each year. City of Prince Albert has announced the opening day for the upcoming season. On Friday, June 5th, the Kinsman Water Park will start up for the summer. The final day of operations they set at August 23rd. Bookings for schools and organizations opens April 28th with summer lessons programming available online May 26th. The city says the final day of operations at the Lake Country Co-op Leisure Center will be Friday, June 19th before it shuts down for annual maintenance. For more updates, you can check the city's website. High school students in Ontario, take a look at this, will pay a higher price for skipping class.
I'm going to give my 15%, 100% class attendance, you know?
15%'s a lot, but I think it'll help students stop skipping and go to class.
Ontario's new education bill will make participation and attendance count for 15% of the final mark for students in grades 9 and 10. It'll be worth 10% for grades 11 and 12. Ontario's education minister says absenteeism started to go up before the pandemic and the trend has yet to fully reverse. The bill will also make written exams mandatory on exam days. 2 Olympic gold medalists and a Grey Cup champion among the inductees to the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame. They were honored in Saskatoon yesterday. 4 athletes, 2 builders, and 1 team selected for the 2026 class. They include Cameron Barge in rowing, Chris Getzlaff, you know him from football, Otto Huber in golf, and Brianne Thiessen-Eaton. The 2 builders are Dr. Marlis Misfelt in sport medicine and science, and Ross Wilson for basketball. They're also honoring the 2011 to 2014 Saskatoon Valkyries Football Club, entering the Hall of Fame in the team category. 2026 induction dinner and ceremony will be held at Regina's Connexus Arts Centre on September 26th. I get to host that. It is a nice evening. Lotto Max Dream had members out in Regina giving out free tickets yesterday. The Dream More crew gave approximately 1,100 tickets out across the prairies, with 225 here in the Queen City. Receivers got a variety of responses, what they would do with the money, including retiring sooner than they planned, buying a home, that kind of stuff. And the SJHL Game 7 happens tonight. There is a look at the 2 games. First time this has happened in a decade or more. Weyburn Red Wings bounced back. They're looking to take on the Flin Flon Bombers in Game 7. The Yorkton Terriers forced to Game 7 with the Battleford North Stars. Puck drop in in Flin Flon rather, is at 7, and in Yorkton is at 7:30 tonight. Let's get over to the Weather Center where there are special weather statements everywhere.
everywhere. Lots of snow on the way. So
now we also have a contest. We want to send people to Italy away from this snow.
That's right. We want to give you a chance to enjoy some warmer weather. CTV Your Morning with CAA Travel and Colette Tours wants to send you and a guest on a 12-day Italy's treasure trip of a lifetime. Experience incredible history, culture, and cuisine across northern Italy, October 18th to 29th. You can enter online now at ctvsaskatoon.ca or ctvregina.ca and include today's keyword, which is Milan, for a chance to win. Good luck. All right, back to the cold weather. Behind me here in Regina, we are seeing pretty clear skies. Those will begin to get cloudier here as the afternoon and evening gets on. Currently 6 degrees here in Regina, about 26 km/h winds as well, so feeling a little bit cooler than what that temperature reflects. Over to Saskatoon now, 2 degrees. Those wind speeds picking up a little bit since last time to about 17 km/h and expecting a much cloudier day. Now let's move over to our futurecast here. We can see that system of snow rolling through the province. Now, we do experience that one, and as tonight goes on, we get another one. Lucky us. Special weather statements are in effect. Today we're under the yellow snowfall warning. Currently we can expect anywhere really from 15 to 20 centimeters with the heaviest accumulations expected over southern regions. So that is something that we do get to look forward to here today and tomorrow. Let's take a look now at our total snowfall amount. So this is about noon tomorrow. We're seeing Regina at about 29 centimeters, Moose Jaw 34, Swift Current 20. So again, lots and lots of snow, but those temperatures are going to warm up. For our currents here, Buffalo Narrows is at -13, Stony Rapids -26, Nipawin -4, Melfort and Hudson Bay both at 0 degrees, Swift Current 5, East End at 2, Estevan at 7. For our highs here today, again, those temperatures aren't looking terrible. The Battleford seeing about 1 degree, but that snow is on the way. Prince Albert right at 0 degrees. Yorkton 8, Swift Current 13, along with Moose Jaw and Weyburn sitting at 16. For a 5-day forecast in Saskatoon here, 1 degree today for that high, seeing that sunshine coming out. Tomorrow -6 and seeing that snow. So that snow is expected to start in the Saskatoon area around 3 a.m. here tomorrow morning. For Regina around 2 a.m. So we will be seeing it a little bit sooner. Now Friday wrapping up the week with -2. Saturday sitting at about 3 degrees for that high. So we are starting to gradually see these temperatures rise. -7 Saturday night for the low. Sunday 5 degrees. Again, seeing that temperature get warmer, and into next week as well, we will start to see quite a quick climb here in temperature. So that snow won't be sticking around for long. 0 degrees on Sunday to wrap up the weekend as the low.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. We're taking a trip to the NBA play-in for this one. It's the Hornets and Heat. 9-10 winner-go-home game in the East. 9 seconds of overtime here. Charlotte down by 1. LaMelo Ball drives, gets the bucket to fall for the lead. Davion Mitchell takes it back the other way, tries and win it for the Heat. Denied by Miles Bridges at the buzzer. So Charlotte hangs on to take a wild game. The Hornets eliminating the Heat, and that right there, definitely worthy of your must-see moment. Meanwhile, tonight on TSN, we've got more NBA play-in action for you. The Magic taking on the 76ers. It all begins 7:30 Eastern on TSN 1 and 4. That's all for now from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a wonderful Wednesday.
Infrastructure seems to be the word of the month here in Saskatchewan. We are, of course, in road repair season. Kim Gardner is the Saskatchewan Minister of Highways and joins me in studio this morning. Kim, thanks so much for doing this.
Morning.
Busy day for you. First, we'll start off with SUMA, where the word infrastructure has been talked about a lot over the last few days. How have the conversations been over the last few days?
They've been good. I spent 30 years in municipal administration, so I know a lot of the people in the room, and we've had great conversations, and infrastructure is always top of mind. It's getting more and more expensive to do. And so they're looking for ways to finance that, and infrastructure programs are part of that.
And one of the programs that you guys have talked about over the last few days is the Highway Connector program. Tell us a little bit about how this works.
Sure. The Urban Highway Connector program started in 2008, and it's changed a little bit over the years, but it's an $8.6 million project. or a program that we operate, and in conjunction with urban municipalities. And what it is an assistance program that helps them connect their urban roads to our highways. So whenever there's urban roads that connect to 2 provincial highways, that's when they qualify for it.
And you've got upcoming projects in, I want to get the list right, Estevan, North Battleford, PA, Swift Current. These are all things that are desperately needed for these communities to have success.
Correct. You know, just as an example, North Battleford, it's a widening of Territorial Drive. In Swift Current, it's a bunch of the on-ramps and off-ramps that are going to get paved along with service roads. So they're projects that have come and have been on the books for them for quite a while.
How do you select the roads?
So it's an application process, and then they go through an evaluation process, and then it comes out of the Ministry of Highways budget.
Your office must field calls from especially northern areas all the time to say this road's bad, that road's bad. How much can you do? How much leeway do you have?
Well, we have in our budget for capital, it's $401 million. The overall budget is about $784 million, and that includes the maintenance side of it. So depending on where it is, it's kind of like chasing squirrels sometimes, because we have so much economic activity going on. So an evaluation is happening on the roads all the time. So what we try to do is balance economic development with the need of services, people having to travel. We're moving goods. We're an export-based province. So the evaluation process is ongoing, and it happens every year.
Well, that's just it. We need to get our products to places, and we need people to get to these places, or they won't want to live there. What is the general state of highways in this province outside of the TC, which you put a lot of work into over the last couple of years?
I think the highways are in a good place. I mean, there's lots of work to do yet, and there always is. But the biggest part that we want to do is have a sustainable system, right, and a safe system. So when people are traveling on the highways or transporting goods, that they're being able to do it in a safe manner and get to their destination safely.
Very quickly, in Humboldt, you're doing a regional transportation study. You're kicking in some funds for this. How important is that?
It's very important. I mean, it's a booming place in the province. Where that study is right now, I'm just not exactly sure. They're just getting into it now, but it's going to plan out the whole district for them. And then we'll move on from there. We'll take it into the Ministry of Highways, and we'll see how it fits in the capital plan.
Minister, you've got a busy day ahead of you. All the ministers are going to be at SUMA today for the Bear Pit session, and then they're back to work at the Legislative Building. So thank you for a couple of minutes today.
Thank you.
Complex surgeries on newborns will no longer be performed in Regina. The procedures are being moved to the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital in Saskatoon. As Wayne Mantika tells us, the Saskatchewan Health Authority says not enough operations are being performed to keep the procedures in the Queen City.
Specialized surgical teams need to perform a sufficient number of procedures annually to keep up their skills. It has become a challenge in Regina for teams that perform highly complex procedures on newborns.
The volume or the number of cases you do matter, and what we want to do in this province is make sure that's the case. And so there are certain diseases that are very rare, and those rare diseases we do want to centralize.
Over the past 20 months, only 6 or 7 newborn procedures were performed in Regina. It was over 3 times that number at the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital. Such care for all of Saskatchewan will now be consolidated in Saskatoon.
Their care, if it's consolidated at children's hospitals with specialized teams that do that kind of thing over and over again so that they retain the expertise to do that, that is the principal reason.
It doesn't mean that pediatric care is leaving Regina.
General pediatric care, however, in Regina is continuing. It's broadening. We're bringing more subspecialists into Regina on an annual basis. So we're not shrinking the size of pediatric care in Regina.
The consolidation became public after the NDP obtained a leaked SHA memo from concerned healthcare workers.
We've heard that this will cost lives, that some babies will not make it.
The specialized newborn surgical team in Regina is expected to remain in the city, transferring their skills to assisting other pediatric patients. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
It's April 15th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Happy belated 37th birthday to Tanya. Here's to another year of being best friends with Ryan. And happy 9th birthday to Carter. Your grandma and Ram hope your day is as amazing as you are.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, you can send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can scan that QR code on your screen. Please make sure to send them at least one day in advance.
Oh, hi, Chase. We're still giving away a trip to Italy. What are you giving away?
I mean, like $50,000. I'm sure you could maybe buy a trip to Italy with that.
That's true.
It's nice you have something to give away. That's nice for you.
Rare.
Our $50,000 too. The next keyword is coming up at 7 o'clock here, so make sure you're listening for that one. To enter online at purecountry927.ca. We're also talking some weird flavors. You know, there's those flavor trends that people kind of just let shape their entire personality. Bacon and dill pickle kind of being the two big ones there. And Oreo teaming up with the dill pickle now for what I can only imagine would be an absolutely horrible cookie, but we'll let you know where you can find that one. And don't forget, American Music Awards. The nominations are now out. We'll let you know where our country artists are sitting. Morgan Wallen has 7 nods. Only one that had more was Taylor Swift with 8.
This ship wasn't built for this.
But Project Hail Mary was filmed for IMAX, and it's coming back. The space adventure starring Ryan Gosling is returning to IMAX theaters for 1 week beginning Friday. Check IMAX.com for locations and showtimes.
Pushing ourselves to explore is just core to who we are. It's a part of being a human. The exploration we're doing is the first few steps on the path of getting humans to Mars.
Artemis 2 to the moon and back follows the crew of the first lunar mission in more than half a century, from their preparations to their 695,000-mile journey and safe return. The special premieres Thursday on Discovery Channel.
But I think their energy is quite contagious, to be honest.
Adria Arjona reportedly has been cast in the Superman sequel. According to Variety and The Hollywood Reporter, the Andor and Splitsville actress has been cast in Superman, Man of Tomorrow. Earlier reports said Arjona was up for the coveted role of Maxima. Warner Brothers has not confirmed her casting. Superman, Man of Tomorrow is due in theaters July 9th, 2027. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
As always, guests go first. Sidebar time, Janelle.
All right. Well, when the weather is hit or miss, there is still a fun way to play in the sand. Miranda is a mom who figured out she could fill up the sandbox with sand indoors for her toddler to play in on the days that look a little too cold and gloomy to go outside.
Does Miranda, or whatever her name is, own a very good vacuum?
This sounds like a mess.
This does not entice me at all.
Just how cold is it outside, and do you not have other activities? I imagine. How do you view the months of the year in your mind's eye?
Apparently, everybody views the months of the year in their head in a different way. So I'll give you an example. I view mine as in like a counterclockwise clock. With January in my brain, January's at the top, and then it goes February, March, April, May. May's down by like the...
Okay, so Justin says you picture the months in a counterclockwise clock fashion. January at the top, as you see on your screen. Did you notice Justin left out August altogether? There's just no August. How do you picture the months, I guess, is the question. I'm more a linear guy.
I am too. Like a straight
line.
Yeah.
Straight line. Yep.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
One after the other. That's how it works.
Content's got a content. We're back right after this. Welcome to Wednesday, April 15th.
We welcome affordability measures.
Starting Monday, you'll pay about 10 cents a liter less on fuel until Labor Day.
we're expected to spend about $9 million in PST in construction costs. So out of $60 million, there's one sixth of that already going back in PST.
Saskatchewan's urban municipalities are advocating for the modernization of tax collection.
I think I just want a fresh voice, someone new.
Pat's GM Dale Durkach will be on set later this hour to explain why he elected to clean house behind the bench. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle. Thanks for being back with us.
And in true Kayleen Sawatsky fashion, she has left you with this.
That's right.
Special weather statements, which is basically everywhere anybody lives.
Yes, tons and tons of snow over the next few days at least, especially into tonight. So, yeah, happy spring.
You're welcome. All right, let's get straight to news. After securing a majority government, Prime Minister Mark Carney says he has no plans to call an election.
So you're not considering calling an election?
Not considering calling an election. Absolutely. I think very clearly Canadians want government to govern.
The Liberals secured a majority by winning the 3 by-elections held this week, along with 5 floor crossings that have happened over the last several months. It is a slim majority. The Prime Minister says he will work with other parties. And there's the Prime Minister taking to the rink with Finland's Prime Minister yesterday with the Ottawa charge, some diplomacy on ice. Finland's President Alexander Stubb says he trades texts with the Prime Minister every day. Finland and Canada are looking to develop a closer relationship. After losing in 3 by-elections, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says he has no plans to resign.
I will continue to lead that fight in this House, across this country, and in the next election.
The Conservatives' vote share shrunk by more than 10% in the 3 ridings compared to the 2025 federal vote. The party even dropped to 3rd place in the downtown Toronto race. And in the closely watched Terrebonne riding, the Conservatives slid from 18.2% in 2025 to 3.3% in the by-election. The Prime Minister was also asked yesterday if he thinks Poilievre should resign. He declined to answer, saying it was an unfair question. On the heels of securing a majority government in the election, and the by-elections rather, the Prime Minister announcing the suspension temporarily of the federal gas tax. Starting Monday, you'll pay about 10 cents per litre less until Labor Day. It comes as global oil prices remain volatile and tensions between the United States and Iran as well. Pausing the gas tax will also take about 4 cents off of diesel and lower the costs of aviation fuel. Saskatchewan's premier welcoming the move.
We welcome affordability measures. That's something that we've been focused on in a different way, in cutting income taxes, cutting taxes across the board for Saskatchewan families since we formed government, and always, looking as to, how can we do more, but how can we do more in a permanent and sustainable way.
Premier Moe said the government is also always looking to do more on affordability while living within its means. As one of the most affordable places he calls Saskatchewan in the country. He did not entirely rule out conversations on a fuel tax break. After the fuel tax cut aimed at helping Canadians deal with the economic fallout to the war in Iran, Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne federally said he is going to table a spring economic update on April 28th.
Plan that is going to help families, is going to help our industry, is going to help our nation, Mr. Speaker, to prosper and to obviously bring good news to Canadians across the nation.
The update will give Canadians a better understanding of how Ottawa's fiscal position has changed since the 2025 federal budget was tabled in November. At that time, the government was predicting that the federal deficit would rise to more than $78 billion in the fiscal year, with smaller deficits forecast through 2030. The government of Saskatchewan says it's beginning a comprehensive review of the province's Farm Security Act, aiming to engage further with the public and stakeholders.
And they're unwilling to this point to go back and do a review and an audit of past transactions.
We found no evidence of that. We've done declarations, and if people have a complaint or they feel it is, they're free to phone the Farmland Security Board and they'll investigate that situation.
Agriculture Minister David Merritt, who says the initial review found no evidence of foreign ownership of Saskatchewan farmland under the current legislative framework. The review will also explore opportunities to improve ownership, verification, boost reporting obligations, and oversight of permanent residents, also making it easier for the next generation of farmers to purchase farmland. Regina senior citizens were at the legislative building voicing their concerns on a policy that they say is pushing them out of their homes. The policy is being applied through housing authorities in the province. It is focusing on individuals who qualify for senior housing and asking them to leave in an effort to free up space.
I have to start all over again. Why should I at 74 years old? That's just not right. It doesn't matter how old you are. Why can't we just stay and be happy for the rest of our lives, whatever time we got?
Yesterday afternoon, the seniors did meet with the Social Services Minister. Let's get to Jeremy Dodge with the traffic update. This is a pretty big one for your city.
Yeah, drivers in Saskatoon starting to get used to the construction tie-ups on College Drive. It's a 4-month-long project, part of a $1.5 million repair to an archway near Spadina Crescent. There's also the $50 million Link project preparing College Drive for the upcoming bus rapid transit program. City says there are plans to mitigate the traffic that comes along with construction season.
One of the changes we're making shortly is at Broadway Avenue and 12th Street to allow more time for that southbound left turn. So we do adjust signal timings, but we do it reactively after people have adjusted.
That construction project expected to be done by late July. Meanwhile, repairs to the overpass at Highway 16 and Circle Drive expected to be complete by the end of next week. Overpass was damaged when a semi hauling heavy equipment that was too high hit the structure last month. City says the work will take a few extra days than planned as crews determined an additional concrete pour was needed to fix the structure. Traffic will remain restricted in the area while the work is wrapped up. Well, Darrell Police Services asking for help from the public, some information they're looking for.
Yeah, you got to stop what you're doing and look at your screen right now. This is some video that they sent to us. It happened around midnight on April 11th on the 4600 block of Mercury Crescent in Regina. The suspect lights a match, throws it inside, and you can see the fireball inside that vehicle. Caused a small explosion. Now, afterwards, police say they found a rag sticking out of the gas tank entrance and a broken window believed to be from a rock. If you know anything about this, you saw anything, your doorbell camera has something, contact police or Crime Stoppers. A Saskatchewan man who was previously convicted of promoting hatred against Jewish people and impersonating a police officer in Saskatoon has been charged by RCMP. 35-year-old Travis Patron is charged with 1 count of willful promotion of hatred. The charge follows a report Carlisle RCMP received last April stating hateful material was posted online in a public forum. Investigators determined a person was promoting hatred against an identifiable group. Patron, who is from Redvers, Saskatchewan, was found guilty of hate speech in October of 2022 in connection with an anti-Semitic video posted online. He's also been convicted of assaulting 2 Regina teachers, and in 2024, he was convicted for impersonating a peace officer in downtown Saskatoon. Travis Patron is scheduled to appear in court next month. The Prince Albert Police Service is shifting focus and resources on addressing robberies, which have become an issue in the city. In January and February of 2026, 24 robberies were reported in PA, a jump from the 10 reported from the same time last year. Trends continue to fluctuate as instances of overall property crime saw a decrease compared to last year. The police service says it's taken notice of the uptick in robberies and is responding appropriately.
Those statistics and that data really do help us determine where do we need to deploy our resources so that we can tackle it and improve public safety in Prince Albert.
The deputy chief says the service will keep a close eye on the complex needs facility scheduled to open later this year to see if it has an impact on crime trends. The Prince Albert Raiders have pushed the Saskatoon Blades to the brink of elimination.
The Blades line. Sarkin off for Coots. Ducks in a shot. He scores!
Coots had a pair of goals as the Raiders shut out the Blades 4-0 at SaskTel Centre last night. The Raiders now lead that series 3-0 and can sweep aside Saskatoon tonight. Opening faceoff is set for 7 o'clock. And 2 Game 7s in the SJHL tonight. The Weyburn Red Wings are in Flin Flon trying to defuse the Bombers, and the Yorkton Terriers host the Battlefords North Stars. The winners will meet in the SJHL final, which begins next week. Ooh, word of the day is special weather statement. 3 words.
Yes, it is. We're seeing quite a bit of that here in the province because a lot of snow is on the way for us. That'll hit mainly tonight and early tomorrow morning. Let's take a look right now at our current temperature, though, because we aren't seeing very cold temperatures. Again, throughout the morning and afternoon as well, these temperatures are looking beautiful. But some snow is on the way. 6 degrees here in Regina, currently 26 km/h winds, and we will be seeing a little bit of sunshine at least for the remainder of the morning and afternoon. Over to Saskatoon now, looking a little bit more cloudy, 2 degrees currently. And those wind speeds are sitting at about 17 km/h. Now let's move over to our futurecast. So we can see here that snow is rolling in. We are expecting to see that snow hit twice as well. So this is tomorrow around 11:45, or tonight rather, around 11:45. So tons of snow is on the way. However, these temperatures are going to be increasing as the weekend comes in into next week as well. So we aren't expecting to see this stick around much. But again, that snow is coming. Now let's take a look at these snowfall amounts because plenty of it is expected. That special weather statement is still in effect. So we're under that yellow snowfall warning, and currently we can expect to see really anywhere from 15 to 20 centimeters and more. So let's take a look right now. About 29 centimeters in Regina. This is about noon tomorrow. Moose Jaw seeing about 34, Swift Current 20, Yorkton and Prince Albert both at that 7 centimeter mark. Now for our current temperatures here throughout the province, Buffalo Narrows is sitting at -13, Spiritwood -6, Nipawin -5, Hudson Bay -1, Swift Current 5 degrees, East End and Kindersley both at 1 degree. We've got Estevan sitting at 8. Now for our highs today, again, beautiful temperatures. They do not reflect what we will be seeing later on tonight. The Battlefords at about -1 here. These just updated. Prince Albert -3, Yorkton 9, Moose Jaw and Swift Current both at 13, and seeing those wind gusts picking up as the day goes on. Estevan and Weyburn both at 17 degrees. Now for our 7-day forecast here in Regina, we will be reaching about 15 degrees here today. About -5 tonight is that low. Tomorrow is when we start to see the snow, still -5, so not terrible temperatures. Friday -4, and on Saturday we're starting to see these begin to increase. 2 degrees as that high on Saturday, 8 on Sunday, and Monday we are starting off a fresh week on a high note with 18. And over in Saskatoon, 1 degree today. Tomorrow seeing about -6 and that snow. -2 on Friday, and we are starting off the weekend on Saturday with some sunshine and 3 degrees. Time for today's rural forecast. Lloydminster seeing about -3, Meadow Lake -7, Hudson Bay at that 0 degree mark, Wynyard 5 degrees, East End 13, and expecting to see some rain. Leader at 10 degrees, Rosetown 5, Broadview 14, and Carlisle 16 degrees. Now let's take a look at Yellow Grass, where internet speeds up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. 15 degrees as the high for today, seeing mainly sunny skies, and those winds are moving at about 15 to 40 km/h.
Let's go back out to Mike Siona now, who is getting a first-hand look at what happens on the other end of an emergency call. Mike.
Well, here we are at Parkland Ambulance again with Lyle Karasik, and we are doing a test call, a dry run here to figure out exactly what happens and why, right?
Absolutely. We're here in our Medical Communications Center here in the north, up in Prince Albert. And what we're doing is demonstrating for you some of the key questions that is going to happen when you call in or your call's been transferred from 911 to our communication center. And so what Natasha's doing is she's receiving a call, and she's receiving the information, and the first thing that we want to verify is, one, where are you? And that's truly important. If we don't know where you are, we obviously can't send help to you.
Absolutely. And that's the most important part. And I heard her say, while I was listening to you, I was listening to her with my other ear. I have that skill. She's saying, please verify the address. That's important because that triggers a whole other response system while you're still asking other questions.
Absolutely. And so what happens is, after that address is that because all of the workstations in our communications that are all synced, one of the other team team members is seeing the call in progress and is receiving that information, it is automatically alerting the ambulance. So whether that's here in Prince Albert or whether that's in Tisdale or Melfort, because we're a wide area dispatch center, it could be in La Ronge. And the other thing is, Mike, we could be handling all these calls from all these communities all at once too, so it can't get very busy.
No doubt about it. So that as soon as we get the address, we've dispatched somebody, and then it's the information gathering system. What kind of questions are being asked, and why are they so important?
Well, what we want to do is we want to be able to provide the paramedics with the best information as to where to go. Maybe it's an apartment building, so you got to go up flight of stairs. Maybe we've got a person who's not breathing, which means that they have to bring in extra pieces of equipment. Maybe it's stuff that we can help them with. Like, for example, when you're having chest pain, we are going to be giving you aspirin and other care that we can help you do those sorts of things. But it's really important that people understand that once we've verified where you are, even though these questions are being help is on the way.
Right. The rest is knowledge is power, and there you go. And learning a lot here this morning, all part of National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week.
She's fainted, is that correct?
There are so many examples, but this is why I love sports today. This is from last night. Flames Avalanche during a break. Flames goalie Dustin Wolf saw a young fan with a sign that said, "Dustin Wolf, you are my idol." So Wolf gave the young man a game-used stick during the game. They said on the broadcast his name is Cade Heisler, who plays goal for Carstairs in minor hockey, and the reaction really does say it all.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
As you'd expect,
the Flames couldn't win.
As you'd expect, well, it's a good thing. As a Flames fan, we want to lose as many games as we can to get a better pick at this point in the season. But they went over and talked to him later, and they said, "Well, how do you feel about this?" And he said, "I'm just so thankful." I'm just so thankful. So
that's precious.
He's going to treasure that for the rest of his life.
You will.
Kind of like a scene out of a movie, which is our focus of our question of the day. Okay, so it is National Film Day.
That's right.
Instead of asking the best movie you've ever saw, we said, let's ask, what's the worst movie you've ever seen? What are people saying?
Okay, well, we got some really good answers.
No, you hate Groundhog Day, really?
There's a good one coming up. It'll be worth it, I promise.
This is what makes this fun.
Man.
But this is what makes this fun, right? We can debate the fact that people have tastes.
That's right. Yeah, Susan here with Meet the Parents. I loved Meet the Parents.
Twilight of
both of those.
What?
Yeah, so I had to look this up.
And what is it?
It's about, I believe, like a goat farmer or something.
Isn't that great?
I read the first line and that was it. So I'm not getting it completely correct. And then
sounds
we've got,
terrible.
It sounds terrible. We've also got this one. This one made me laugh. So Trapped in Paradise, 1994, Nicolas Cage. We're like trapped in the movie theater.
More like trapped in the movie theater, am I right? Heather didn't like Bad Santa. Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's an odd taste of...
Yeah.
Yep. And this one's a little controversial as well. Jeremy says Avatar, worst movie ever.
Did you write in, Jeremy? Is this yours?
This is not me.
This is not
Avatar is magnificent.
Yeah,
it's very long, though. That's an investment of time. If you're going to sit in the theater for that.
You've got to commit to it. And then Elfie here with The Lake House, which I've also never heard of.
Okay, so Jeremy, let me tell you more.
Reeves?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh.
That's a sweet movie, actually. That's a sweet film. Let me tell you more about Titanic, too, as long as we're on the subject. They rebuild the ship. Global warming happens. Iceberg comes off and hits it. It sinks again. That's the whole movie. Oh, you got to watch this thing. It is a slow-moving shipwreck. We want to hear from you. Very apropos today on the anniversary of sinking.
My heart will go on.
Text your name and answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply. Scan the QR code on your screen. Morning Mystery is up next.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Time for your morning mystery, our favorite game show within the show. Janelle, first you got to take out your earpiece.
Earpiece is coming out.
We don't want any cheaters here.
Nope.
3 clues. Play along at home. Clue number 1, it is technically not a fruit, but a berry because the seeds are located inside the flesh.
I don't like the way that was worded.
Okay. They cannot be grown from seed. The plant must be split and then grown, sort of like cloning.
Okay.
Gwen Stefani spells it out in her 2004 song, Holla Back Girl.
And immediately I have it.
I don't like the way that was written.
And there should be no spelling mistakes.
Yeah, no, right? Everybody at home right now is spelling out.
Oh, did we? Oh, was I?
You're first.
Fast.
You were first.
Yes.
You're never first. Bananas.
Yay.
The answer, of course, let's show the people at home.
B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
That's right. The answer is bananas. It is National Banana Day because there's a national day for everything. Fun facts about bananas. Due to their potassium-40 content, bananas are slightly radioactive. You would have to eat about 700 a day for your entire lifetime for them to even be considered harmful.
Wow.
Canadians consume about 3 billion bananas annually, and if you were in the 50s, 60s in Dunblane, Saskatchewan, you bought enough Chiquita bananas, you'd win a monkey, like my Uncle Keith. That is today's Morning Mystery.
One this morning.
As Canadians and Americans continue to take significant financial hits at the gas pump amid record high prices, U.S. President Donald Trump is waving away concerns over the cost of fuel and says he's more than content with crude oil prices at $92 a barrel amid the ongoing U.S. blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Speaking to Fox Business Network host Maria Bartiromo in an interview that had been taped late Tuesday, Trump said he was very surprised that crude prices were only at $92 a barrel and predicted that the war could be over very soon, while suggesting that the hit to Americans' pocketbooks has been very worthwhile because the war has degraded Iran's ability to develop a nuclear weapon. More than 36 U.S. senators from both parties will urge the Trump administration on Wednesday to extend the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement in spite of the president's skepticism. We support efforts to fully enforce the existing terms of the agreement, curb unfair practices, and address outstanding trade barriers that disadvantage American agriculture, Senator Steve Daines, a Republican from Montana, and other lawmakers wrote in a letter to U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer. And it was shared first with Semaphore. Officials must agree this year to extend the pact, which President Donald Trump signed during his first term, past July 1st. Greer said this month he'll reveal the U.S. position at the start of June. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
School Day Forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. In Regina, by the time you get onto the bus, 6 degrees. By about 12 p.m. noon, 13, and final bell sitting at 15 degrees. Over in Saskatoon, by the time you get onto the bus, 1 degree, sticking around that mark for lunchtime, and final bell about 3 p.m., still at that 1 degree mark. Here's a look at today's gas prices. In Regina, the common cost to fill up is $1.69.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $1.54.9. And over in Saskatoon, the common cost is $1.71.9, and the lowest you might find is $1.61.9. Taking a look at farm markets, the street price of canola is $648.13 per ton, and the futures price is $704.10 per ton. Amber durum wheat is $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat is $279.02 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 72.69 cents U.S. After the break, we sit down with the Pats GM to find out what he's looking for in the team's next head coach.
Good morning. Thank you for being with us. We begin in the Middle East now, where the U.S. president says he thinks the war in Iran is close to over.
Keep saying was. Is this war over?
I think it's close to over, yeah. I mean, I view it as very close to over. You know what? If I pulled up stakes right now, it would take them 20 years to rebuild that country.
Trump made the comment in an interview with Fox Business airing this morning. He also suggested yesterday that talks with Iran in Pakistan could resume in the next 2 days. Tehran says it has no information about new talks. Meantime, the U.S. military says its blockade of the Iranian ports is now fully in effect. Israel and the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah traded strikes this morning. This comes a day after Israel and Lebanon held direct talks in Washington for the first time in more than 30 years. Hezbollah is not involved in these negotiations, and Israel has said it will continue military operations against the group. Canada, along with the UK, Australia, and 7 other countries, have issued a joint statement condemning the killings of peacekeepers in Lebanon. The statement adds the nations remain deeply concerned by worsening humanitarian situations and displacement crisis in Lebanon. The port of Churchill was a priority when the Prime Minister and Manitoba Premier met in Ottawa.
To say that we're very excited about Churchill and the prospect of working together to open up new trade destinations for all of Canada, including Manitoba.
Carney says plans to expand the port as part of a trade corridor through northern Manitoba are a top priority. Studies are also underway to look at private sector interest in the port and to look into the use of icebreakers to extend its shipping season. Discussions also included Churchill's strategic role in defending Arctic sovereignty, federal health funding, and support for Manitoba's ag industry. Canoe also thanked Carney for federal assistance with the potential flooding in Peguis First Nation. As Saskatchewan municipalities continue to feel the burden of tight budgets across the province, leaders at this week's Saskatchewan Urban Municipalities Association convention hoping opening new opportunities to generate cash could be coming. With the latest, here's Donovan Mace.
Regina Mayor Chad Bashinsky is hoping to get cities less reliant on property taxes as their main source of revenue.
Property tax is a very, long-standing but, largely ineffective tool when it comes to keeping up with inflation, as an example. And so really just trying to open up the dialogue.
And the Saskatchewan Urban Municipalities Association is joining the efforts, with more than 89% of its membership supporting a resolution to enhance municipal tax tools. The resolution also asking the province to remove PST from civic construction projects. Now, currently, cities may only collect property taxes, charge service fees, and receive municipal revenue sharing from the province, which is tied to PST.
We're expected to spend about $9 million in PST in construction costs. So out of $60 million, there's one sixth of that already going back in PST.
SUMA would also like to see Sask Power reinstate a municipal payment in lieu for electrical revenues.
We were to get that for eternity, but we found out eternity ended in 2017. And we no longer get that.
Smaller centers are also feeling the pinch, saying as demand for services increase, collaboration from all levels of government is crucial.
I see intersection every day and collaboration and challenges being present way beyond what was once our cozy little town defined by our town perimeter.
The province regularly reviews available tax tools for municipalities and is open to changes.
We can't take one side over another entirely, but we try to ensure that there's space for our municipal partners to be able to exercise and use tools under the tax tools within the Act.
Now, SUMA is insisting on the tax expansions because they say municipal revenue sharing has not kept up with the costs to run cities. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Big move for the Regina Pats yesterday, cleaning house behind the bench. The architect of the team is Dale Durkach, Pats legend himself, and he's in studio with us this morning. Dale, thanks so much for doing this. I know this is a difficult thing, not something anybody loves about sports, because they always say coaches are hired to be fired. Let's start with the positives for Brad. Just how much he meant to the organization over the last 11 years.
Yeah, of course, he's been with the team over 10 years, built lots of relationships. I mean, I've known Brad for many years. He's a good man, just tough day. These aren't the fun times, of course, in hockey.
He didn't get the greatest, he inherited a team that's through a rebuild. He brought them back to the playoffs. Some people in the community thought maybe he'd get another shot to come back and do this with Maddox and Liam, the two exceptional talents, next year in a full-time role. But you're opting to make this move. Why now?
I just think, for me, a fresh start, even for me as a GM, that I will have someone that I bring in, that we have the same philosophical ideas. Not that Brad and I were wildly apart on things, but I think it's just a new voice and a fresh new look.
So what does a Dale Durkach coach look like? What traits did they have?
Yeah, I'd say a good communicator, someone who's positive and upbeat, that can motivate. I'd like to play an tempo style of game. We have lots of good young players, as you mentioned. I'd like to play in the other team's end, not our end. I'd say good defense makes a good offense, and if we can keep the puck 200 feet away from our end, I think that's important. And yeah, just upbeat style and competitive.
You got some pieces. You even stole a game from the Tigers. How far away is this team from making a little run?
Yeah, I think next year the natural progression would be that we get into the playoffs, not only get in, but maybe get home ice advantage. And that would be a natural step. And I think the experience our players got this year in the playoffs will help us try to attain that.
What have you learned over the last year in this role?
Yeah, there's lots going on. It's something I knew lots of the stuff on the hockey side of it, but the business side, there's lots of stuff there that I didn't know because I never was involved in it. But yeah, it's a good experience, and I enjoyed it up to this time.
Are you going to enjoy watching your two young prospects? Maybe there's three in the lineup for the Regina Pack Canadians in the TELUS Cup in the next week.
For sure. Very exciting. Happy for those guys again. That's good experience. Leadership and winning's always good. Once you feel that piece of winning, you want to keep doing it. So good for them, and I'm excited for them.
Draft's coming up. Got your eyes on a few players?
For sure. Lots of good players. Actually leaving tomorrow for BC. That's the end of the year tournament there with the last look at the BC kids, and the next weekend after that, Alberta. So it's very busy.
The obvious question is, how long could we be waiting until we see a new head coach named?
No, there's no timeline. We're going to take our time and go through the process. I know that's what everybody says. No rush. Really want to make a good decision.
Dale, thanks so much for doing this. I know it's a difficult day for a general manager when they replace a coach and a friend, so thank you for coming in this morning.
Well, thank you for having me, Daryl, and look forward to seeing you in the rink.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. We're taking a trip to the NBA play-in for this one. It's the Hornets and Heat. 9-10 winner-go-home game in the East. 9 seconds of overtime here. Charlotte down by 1. LaMelo Ball drives, gets the bucket to fall for the lead. Davion Mitchell takes it back the other way, tries and win it for the Heat. Denied by Miles Bridges at the buzzer. So Charlotte hangs on to take a wild game. The Hornets eliminating the Heat, and that right there, definitely worthy of your must-see moment. Meanwhile, tonight on TSN, we've got more NBA play-in action for you. The Magic taking on the 76ers. It all begins 7:30 Eastern on TSN 1 and 4. That's all for now from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a wonderful Wednesday.
All right, well, we are going to get into some of this cold weather, but first we do have a contest for you. CTV Your Morning with CAA Travel and Colette Tours wants to send you and a guest on a 12-day Italy's treasure trip of a lifetime. Incredible history, culture, and cuisine across northern Italy is on October 18th to 19th. You can enter online now at ctvsaskatoon.ca or ctvregina.ca, and you can include today's keyword, which is Milan, for a chance to win. Good luck. All right, now let's talk about some of this cold weather. 6 degrees here in Regina currently. Again, we aren't seeing cold temperatures, but they will begin to cool down here as the afternoon and evening continues. Those wind speeds currently at about 26 kilometers per hour, and we are seeing a little bit of sunshine. Over to Saskatoon, 1 degree, currently 22 kilometer per hour winds. A little bit of a cloudier day in Saskatoon and surrounding areas. Now let's take a look at the snowfall that is headed our way. So we will be getting about 2 rounds of it. So 2 things to look forward to here. And that special weather statement is still in effect. So we're under that yellow snowfall warning currently. We really can expect anywhere from about 15 to close to 30 centimeters with those heavier accumulations expected over the southern regions of Saskatchewan. We will talk all about these snowfall amounts, so what we can really expect to see in different areas here in the province. So Swift Current sitting at about 20 centimeters of snow. Regina expecting to see 29. Moose Jaw 34. So again, lots of snow is on the way. If you are heading out to travel, keep your eye on Highway Hotline. Things are going to get a little bit rough out there, but not for long. Current temperatures here in Saskatchewan, Buffalo Narrows at -13, Stony Rapids -24, Nipawin -6, Melfort at 0 degrees. Swift Current 5, Kindersley and East End both at 1, Yorkton 5, and Estevan 8. Now for our highs today, you can see those snow spots where it is expected to start the soonest. The Battleford's at -1 for their high today. Prince Albert -3. Yorkton 9 degrees. Moose Jaw and Swift Current 13 degrees and seeing those wind speeds gradually pick up. Estevan and Weyburn both at 17 for their high. Now for our 5-day forecast here in Regina. 15 degrees today as that high, seeing some sunshine. However, tomorrow is when we will experience that snow in those clouds. -5 on Thursday for the high, and on Friday -4. Now Saturday, things are starting to look up. We are expecting to see these temperatures rise into the weekend and into next week as well. Saturday 2 degrees, and Sunday will be reaching a high of about 8. For Saskatoon, now 1 degree is the high for today, -9 tonight for the low. Seeing that snow start closer to about 3 a.m. for Saskatoon, -6 tomorrow for the high, -2 on Friday, and again, warmer temperatures headed our way over the weekend. 3 degrees on Saturday and 5 degrees on Sunday.
Twist, the one to make you stop. The icing on your cake, the cherry on the top. It's heaven in my heart, and we could find you some space. 'Cause if she dance as good as she look right now, I just might make her my baby. I just might make her my baby. Hey, when did you get high? All of a sudden I could look you up and down all day. When did you get high?
Kid Expo is coming back to the International Trade Center this year. We have Amanda Delpart in studio this morning to tell us all about what you need to know. And the first obvious question, Amanda, let's remind people what Kid Expo is.
Yeah, you bet. It's a really fun day for the family. Our vendors hit it out of the park every single time. We ask them to think outside the box and really make their spaces welcoming and exciting for the kids. So it truly is a day for the kids.
So who is there? Who are these vendors?
Yeah, we have everything from sports, music, art, we have special guests coming in. You'll see maybe a favorite gopher around town here, and also the rider cheer team.
What's it all about? Connecting people with?
Yeah, I really like the fact that families can come in and really talk with some of the community programs and services that are out there, and learn more about them and learn when their kids can get involved. And I think that's really important, especially if you don't know what's out there, you know. And there's things that pop up every year, and we're like, wow, we didn't know that was there.
You mean there are events out there that you can't just Google and show up on your
Really? Yeah.
Wow, imagine that. What made you want to do this? I know you've done this for a few years.
Yeah, I'm a mom. I kind of had the same experience, you know. I said, I don't know what to put him in and what to do. So I created this event, and I hope it's helping families really connect with the community.
What's the reaction been like over the last couple of years?
Oh my gosh. It's getting bigger every year. We started in 2018 and obviously took a little pause during the pandemic, and we came back strong, and the community has really come out, and it's a really fun day. We get nothing but positive feedback, and yeah.
Okay, so we're connecting with vendors, and we're talking to sports groups about how to sign up for Taekwondo or soccer or any of those good things. What is there for the kids? Because they're coming along too.
Oh yeah, so it is all for the kids. Each booth is going to be interactive. You're going to be able to learn, play, explore, and hopefully find something that they're really passionate about. Maybe do a little shopping. There's some shopping booths as well. We have special guests coming in, like the Regina firefighters is always a big hit. They bring a full truck in, so they get to explore and talk to the firefighters and really learn about that. We have the Regina Police Service coming in as well, and then we have an ongoing stage show all day long, except we are shutting it down at 3 o'clock for our sensory hour. Oh,
of course. Are you surprised by the engagement from the community? They also
No, yeah. I mean, Regina's so great, and I think an event like this is just so needed, and again, really, the community's come out for us.
Okay, so we got the social media handle on the screen, but we need the dates, the times, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, you bet. It is this Sunday, April 19th at the International Trade Center from 10 to 4. We are hosting that sensory hour from 3 to 4, which is going to be a little quieter, a little calmer, and tickets are available at the door.
Amanda, thank you so much, and good luck to all of you. If you have tiny ones and you want to drag them out of the bouncy houses, there are a lot of them.
Here's what's happening in our community. Travel the Rockies by rail is on April 14th at 2 p.m. It's being held at Yorkton's Home Inn and Suites, and for more information, you can call 306-594-7362. The Weld Core Demo Night is on April 15th from 6 to 9 p.m. It's being held at the 4500 block of Wascana Parkway. The Home and Garden Treasures is on April 21st from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. It's being held at the Serb Club right here in Regina, and for more information, you can call 306-539-4669 or 306-550-8705. The Aurora Art Guild Show and Sale is on April 16th to 18th at 10 a.m. It's being held at Sask Research and Tech Park. For more information, you can go to www.auroraartguild.com. You can submit your event to our community by visiting our website at ctvregina.ca and clicking Community Calendar.
It's April 15th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Happy belated 37th birthday to Tanya. Here's to another year of being best friends with Ryan. And happy 9th birthday to Carter. Your grandma and Ram hope your day is as amazing as you are.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, you can send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can scan that QR code on your screen. Please make sure to send them at least one day in advance.
Today is National Film Day, Chase. So we've been asking people, rather than the best movie or the favorite movie, what's the worst movie you've ever seen?
Oh my gosh. I can't remember what it was called. My dad rented it when we were younger, though, and it was a mistake. I think he was trying for like The English Patient, and it was, the tagline was, a man went up a hill and came down a mountain, and the whole premise of it was this town built a hill into a mountain, which sounds like it could have some legs to it. It could be okay. It was awful. Like, this was probably 25 years ago, and still to this day, it was so bad. But we sat there and watched that entire VHS for some strange reason. Coming up on the show today, though, we have an update. They've been talking about this for quite some time. We got more of a timeline, though, and this is that magical pill that is supposed to increase the longevity and age of your best friend, your dog. And it looks like this could be released as early as next year, so we'll get you some details there. I'm kind of invested, as my dog is turning 13 on Monday, so if they could hurry up with this, yeah, I would be all in for it.
We call it to Dwayne a movie in my house. My dad, Dwayne, he'll sit and he'll watch whatever, and it's like, well, why won't you just change the channel? And he's like, well, now you got to see how it ends. And so if we're
my dad will do that and jump into like the middle of the movie. He hasn't even seen the start of it.
Oh,
like, well, no, we're not invested.
Sure, why not? Remote's right there.
Yep, nope, can't do it.
Thanks, Chase.
Thanks, Daryl.
Justin Bieber had the biggest music streaming day of the year earlier this week, according to new data from Luminate. Songs from the pop star's catalog surpassing 77 million streams in a single day, with 21 of his songs in Spotify's global top 200. The streaming bump coming just a day after Bieber's headlining set at Coachella.
And before they or you get any ideas, I will choose my own wife.
Dan Stevens, who audiences know from Downton Abbey, is joining the cast of Dexter Resurrection, playing a character called the Five-Borough Killer. He joins Brian Cox and Uma Thurman in the show alongside Dexter himself, Michael C. Hall.
Mine is not a family designed to withstand tragedy.
And Taylor Sheridan's star-studded drama The Madison has been renewed for season 3. The first season of that show, starring Michelle Pfeiffer and Kurt Russell, was the most watched premiere for a Sheridan show. And happy birthday to Seth Rogen. The Superbad and Knocked Up star is 44. That's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Alex Stone, ABC News.
Sidebar time, and we begin with something that will leave you awestruck. This tree is the largest living thing on Earth.
Wow.
It's found in Sequoia National Park in California, standing next to what feels like a living skyscraper. It's made of wood and time. Can you believe this is all once one little seed?
That's beautiful.
There you go.
Wow.
How old?
I wish I could tell you. The script doesn't say. I'll look it up while Janelle reads this one.
Years.
All right, well, when the weather is hit or miss, there's still a fun way to play in the sand. Miranda is a mom who figured out she could fill up the sandbox with sand indoors for her toddler to play in on days that look a little too cold and gloomy outside. I don't know.
I considered this once.
Did you?
We do have a sandbox.
Just for yourself?
We did.
Wow.
Yeah, no, from this years ago. But I did not want the inevitable mess.
Okay, so this tree is supposed to be like 4,800 years old. Instead, it's 330 feet.
4,800?
That's what it says.
Well.
Wow.
How about that?
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah, 3266.
Okay.
Giant Sequoia National Mall. Okay, well,
yeah.
There you go.
Now we know.
Little tiny computers at our hands.
Yeah.
We're back right after this. Welcome to Wednesday.
When we look at all of these renovations, we think it's a positive outcome based to help out the relatives in a good situation.
Saskatoon Tribal Council's emergency shelter in Fairhaven undergoing renovations.
Those statistics and that data really do help us determine where do we need to deploy our resources so that we can tackle it and improve public safety in Prince Albert.
Prince Albert Police Service turning resources to focus on addressing robberies.
One of the changes we're making shortly is at Broadway Avenue and 12th Street to allow more time for that southbound left turn. So we do adjust signal timings, but we do it reactively after people have adjusted.
The construction on College Drive becoming familiar for Saskatoon drivers. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle. Thank you for being back with us.
We have all kinds of snow coming our way. Isn't that fun?
It is a lot of fun. Tons to look forward to and like lots of snow.
The good news is you're not moving this week.
No,
You're
not
moving
yet.
within the city.
Yes.
And that would be pretty terrible
Awful.
in the snow. Pretty terrible in the snow.
Yeah.
Let's get to it's bad anytime. Moving's the worst human experience ever. Let's get over to 801's news update with concerns of foreign ownership of farmland being raised in the legislature. The government of Saskatchewan has decided to perform a comprehensive review of the province's Farm Security Act. Sierra D'Souza Butts tells us what it means for ownership of farmland.
Farmland is the largest asset producers have, according to the Saskatchewan Association of Rural Municipalities.
We've got to make sure that our farmland is available for our young producers and Saskatchewan residents.
With the goal of attracting and keeping the next generation of farmers in the province, Huber says stronger provincial policies are needed.
We have to have every opportunity open for our young farmers and young producers in this province to continue on, to get into the industry and also expand it once they're in there.
After conducting an initial review of the Saskatchewan Farm Security Act, the province's agriculture minister says the government will begin a comprehensive review of the act to explore opportunities to improve ownership verification, strengthen penalty and enforcement tools, along with making it easier for the next generation of farmers to purchase land.
There are opportunities for other financial institutions to engage in this on the transition from, an older farmer to somebody younger as well. Right now, they're just not there. Maybe they can be brought into the act somehow.
The initial review found no evidence of foreign ownership of Saskatchewan farmland under the current legislative framework, a concern that has been reported over 13 times to the Farmland Ownership Advisory Committee. The Saskatchewan NDP says the review is long overdue, stating the third-party review fails to audit past transactions. operations.
These are something we've been calling for well over a decade. Government's only acting on them now, and they're unwilling to this point to go back and do a review and an audit of past transactions.
We found no evidence of that. We've done declarations, and if people have a complaint or they feel it is, they're free to phone the Farmland Security Board and they'll investigate that situation.
The review will continue to be led by the Farmland Ownership Advisory Committee, with plans to introduce any changes to the Act by spring 2027. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
The Saskatoon Tribal Council's Emergency Wellness Centre is set to undergo a major renovation, which includes adding more washroom facilities. But as CTV's Stacey Hine tells us, some are wondering why the facility is upgrading when the province indicated the shelter would be downsizing.
Saskatoon Tribal Council's Emergency Wellness Centre is undergoing renovations, including 13 new washroom stalls and 10 accessible showers.
We only had 2 showers for the last 3 to 4 years, which didn't make sense for 106 people.
The centre will also expand laundry services and add a commercial kitchen. Chief Mark Arcan says right now all 3 meals are prepared off-site, and the new setup will give people a chance to work in the kitchen.
When we look at all of these renovations, we think it's a positive outcome based to help out the relatives in a good situation.
Arcan says STC received $1.4 million from the federal government for the project, while the Ministry of Social Services says it's providing $975,000 through a third-party agreement with Ottawa. In September 2024, the ministry said it planned to reduce spaces at the wellness centre in the future. But Ward 3 Councillor Robert Pierce says while the renovations are needed, it now appears the province is walking back that plan.
We've been promised a bed reduction when a new permanent shelter was built and one is going to be built starting this summer. And so the size and scope of the tender appears to make it look like that promise isn't going to be kept.
Pierce says a smaller shelter is needed, saying the more people who gather in one area, the more opportunity there is for crime targeting vulnerable people. In a statement, the Ministry of Social Services says, quote, "Now is not the time to reduce emergency shelter beds in the community," adding it's working with community partners to ensure there are enough spaces and will maintain 106 beds at the centre. Arcand agrees, saying any discussion about reducing beds should come later, once more shelters are open.
We're the highest homeless rate in our province, and I think we need to increase beds, right? So lowering them should not be a discussion or an option.
Arcand expects the renovations will be completed by the end of March next year. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Time for a traffic update, Jeremy.
Yeah, let's look at construction on the University Bridge in Saskatoon. It's into week 2 now with detour signs dotting College Drive, and it has forced drivers to take alternate routes. And as Hallie Mandrick tells us, the city says it's trying to ease traffic troubles for motorists.
The site of construction on College Drive has become familiar for Saskatoon drivers.
It's annoying, like when I am driving, I cannot stand it, like all the merges and stuff like that, and the slowness on Circle Drive and all that. But yeah, I'm sure others are in the same boat as I am.
Even we've got construction across the street here. We had the construction for the rapid transit last year. It's impacting my travel and commute time a lot.
The 4-month-long construction project is part of a $1.5 million repair to the University Bridge. In addition to the $50 million LINK project, preparing College Drive for the upcoming rapid transit program. According to the City of Saskatoon, there are efforts being made to mitigate the additional traffic, such as adjusting traffic lights.
One of the changes we're making shortly is at Broadway Avenue and 12th Street to allow more time for that southbound left turn. So we do adjust signal timings, but we do it reactively after people have adjusted.
Currently, the University Bridge is closed to all traffic except for emergency vehicles and city buses. The pedestrian walkway across the bridge, however, will remain open throughout the roadwork. While many are feeling the frustration that comes along with construction season, others have come to accept the delays that come along with infrastructure upgrades.
I feel like this is just part of the seasons in Saskatoon, so I think we're pretty used to it. And I see the benefits long term of doing this kind of work.
The bridge project is planned to be completed in June, and all of the traffic restrictions on College Drive are expected to be lifted by the fall. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, as we look forward to that, this spring weather taking a turn tomorrow, Daryl. What is up with these forecasts?
I'm going to blame Janelle because that seems like the natural thing to do. I want to take you to the U.S., though, Jeremy. Record-breaking heat to blinding snow to tornadoes. This weather pattern is something for everyone, I guess. Hannah Battah reports.
Overnight, millions on alert as dangerous storms sweep across the plains and Midwest. Heavy rain flooding streets in Milwaukee, leaving a public bus stranded. In Iowa, a funnel cloud moving slowly across open fields, while intense lightning lit up the Oklahoma sky. It's all part of a multi-day severe weather outbreak across the region. A powerful twister packing 125-mile-per-hour winds, causing severe damage in Ottawa, Kansas. The roof of this hotel ripped off, homes destroyed. One resident surveying the damage, the sky visible through the kitchen. The dangerous weather stretching as far west as Colorado. Snow and strong winds causing this 70-vehicle pileup, sending numerous people to the hospital. Some cars were damaged, others spun out. Parts of the highway forced to shut down. And on the East Coast today, a different weather extreme. Record-breaking heat possible with temperatures in the 90s expected in D.C., 80s in New York. The average high in D.C. for mid-April is in the mid-60s. Today, they could hit the mid-90s. Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
Is introducing new cabins that it says will change passengers' air travel experience. But do passengers want to pay more for the upgrades? Jean-Pierre Beauchemin reports.
The beauty of Canada to the sky.
Air Canada is calling it the most significant cabin redesign in its 90-year history. Passengers will catch a ride in the upgraded interiors, including the luxury of some lie-flat seats on long-haul flights. This aboard the company's new Airbus A321 XLR and Boeing 787-10 aircraft. The rollout will begin this summer, and all cabins will eventually see upgrades.
We've got 93 brand new aircraft on order. And the last time we came out with a new interior was about 10 years ago.
And the airline is borrowing from the national anthem and naming the project Glowing Hearted, leaning into Canadian themes. The comfy seat, big screens, larger overhead bins are a big investment, and the airline will no doubt need to pass on costs to travelers.
So it's not that those seats necessarily will cost more because of this, but we'll have more premium seats, which is really good for our business.
Still, it could squeeze out lower-cost seats, but analysts say the market is split between low-cost carriers and luxury brands, and Air Canada is finding its niche on some aircraft.
People are buying premium services. They're buying the premium tickets. So, I think they're kind of figuring out that, the cattle call that we have in the back of the bus is something that they want to stay away from.
Privacy wings, big screens. Some frequent flyers say paying extra for extra luxury is the future of flying.
If you got a little bit more comfort and you're going to go that way, then yeah, that's the way you go.
Well, it just depends on what kind of budget you're on. Yeah, I can't afford first class or business.
Air Canada calls it a reimagined travel experience, and some analysts say the overhaul was long overdue. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
I think I had a couch once that kind of looked like her shirt. That's right. It seems like a pleather type thing. Jean-Pierre Beauchemin reporting. Let's get over to Janelle Lippai. Before we get to the half hour with that Italy contest, we need to know when that snow is going to start.
All right. Well, we can look forward to that snow beginning a little bit later on tonight and early tomorrow morning. That is when we are going to see the majority of it. Now, let's take a look here at our current temperature. Behind me, the view over Regina looking very bright, almost warm, and that temperature isn't too bad either, but things are going to cool down, get much cloudier as the day goes on. 7 degrees here in Regina, currently 30-kilometer-per-hour winds, so we are starting to see that wind speed pick up. Over to Saskatoon, rainy morning, very rainy morning. 1 degree as that current temperature, 22-kilometer-per-hour winds. Again, the cloud cover over Saskatoon and surrounding area is beginning much earlier here today and even bringing a little bit of precipitation in the form of rain. But snow is still on the way. We can see here in our future cast to Saskatchewan. systems of snow rolling through the province. So as we get early into tomorrow morning and even a little bit later on throughout the morning, we will see that snow continuing to fall. So we are still under that yellow snowfall warning, so that is something to keep in mind. Now let's take a look over at our snowfall amounts, because as you can tell, we are expecting to see quite a bit. So for Regina, about 30 centimeters. Swift Current is at about 20 centimeters. Moose Jaw seeing 34. Prince Albert right at that 4 centimeter mark, and Yorkton 7. So if you are heading out, going anywhere, even on your morning commute tomorrow, make sure you're giving yourself a little bit of extra time. For current temperatures here in the province, Buffalo Narrows is sitting at about -13, along with L'Orange. Spiritwood -6, Hudson Bay -2, Nipawin at -7. Swift Current 6 degrees. We've got Moose Jaw right at 7, Estevan at 9, and Yorkton 6 degrees. For our highs today, the Battleford seeing about -2, Prince Albert -5, Swift Current 13 degrees along with Moose Jaw, both areas seeing quite a bit of wind, Estevan at 17 degrees. For our 7-day forecast here, we can see that snow falling tomorrow and even early into Friday morning. As we get into the weekend, though, there is the light at the end of the tunnel. We are expecting to see these temperatures warm up. Saturday, we're hitting about 2 degrees. Sunday, 8. Now, Monday, we're starting off a fresh week with 18 degrees and lots of sunshine. Over to Saskatoon now, 1 degree today for the high, seeing that snow tomorrow and Friday. Friday will be reaching about -2 for that high, -10 that night for the low. Over the weekend, 3 degrees on Saturday, 5 degrees on Sunday for the high, and on Monday, a beautiful 15 degrees.
Here's what happened on April 15th of 2019. The 19th century spire on top of the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris collapsed as the building was engulfed in flames. April 15th, 2013, 2 bombs exploded near the finish line of the Boston Marathon, killing 3 people. And April 15th, 1923, insulin first became generally available for use by people with diabetes.
In case you missed it, hundreds came out for the Winnipeg Doll Extravaganza.
One as a kid, and I found the exact same doll here today, and gone home with it. A lot of times it's some historical value. People buy dolls for that reason, but mostly it's collecting and collecting the fun things.
There we go.
40 vendors came out to showcase their doll collections. There are classics from the 1950s, Barbies, My Little Ponies. Some were up for sale for big price tags as well, costing as much as $500. And these collectors say it's not only about making money, though. It's about sentimental value.
I'm sure that's part of what drives the price up, right?
That's right. I actually really love this. This is very sweet.
There we go.
Yeah.
Question of the day. It's National Film Day. They're encouraging you to go out and see some Canadian films, especially. We've asked, what's the worst movie you've ever seen?
Yeah, I've been loving these answers. This one, okay, so Donna says the Blair Witch Project. This movie still scares me.
That was a game changer back in the day.
It was.
That made a lot of movie.
Yeah.
A lot of movie. Made a lot of moolah.
Michelle, who says the worst movie is Bad Santa. That is the second time we've seen this answer, so not really a bunch of fans for that one. We've also got some more here. Evil Dead Part 2, a tragic sequel to the original.
Part 2 is, outside of like Home Alone 2, generally not the greatest.
Part 2s can be a little rough.
Part 2s can get rough.
Yeah. Darren, who says
Waterworld.
Waterworld.
There's a general consensus in the world that that's a bad film.
And then I think we've got a few more.
I'd like to see that again.
I think I have to too, honestly, to see why it's so bad. I remember watching it and thinking it was terrible, but was it really? Like Tom Petty's in it randomly.
Oh, weird.
I'll be honest, I've never seen it.
Yeah, you should. That's your homework for today.
All right. Daphne says Ghost Rider and The Truman Show, Nicolas Cage and Jim Carrey are not my favorite actors.
Jody doesn't like musicals.
Yeah.
La La Land.
I'm kind of with you, Jody.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, everybody. Bird Box, that's what Sheldon's saying. We had this discussion. Daryl's not sure what Bird Box is.
No, I had to explain to Janelle as well that Nicolas Cage made a lot of really good movies until he ran out of money because he bought T-Rex skulls and on properties on private islands.
Yeah.
And then he made a lot of really bad movies. Because there's
And
a
he's
cut-off
still
line.
making those.
There's a cut line
Yeah.
where it's like, okay,
Yeah.
you ran out of money.
Yeah. I have yet to see the good ones.
Oh,
But
The Rock.
Con Air.
Con Air. Yeah, Gone in 60 Seconds.
The Rock.
Well,
Any of the national treasures actually
I
are
guess
fun
so.
if you suspend some reality.
Yeah, yeah.
We're going to take a quick time out. We're coming back with health news on the other side.
Complex surgeries on newborns will no longer be performed in Regina. The procedures being moved to the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital in Saskatoon. As Wayne Mantika tells us, the Saskatchewan Health Authority says not enough operations were being performed to keep the procedures in the Queen City.
Specialized surgical teams need to perform a sufficient number of procedures annually to keep up their skills. It has become a challenge in Regina for teams that perform highly complex procedures on newborns.
The volume or the number of cases you do matter, and what we want to do in this province is make sure that's the case. And so there are certain diseases that are very rare, and those rare diseases we do want to centralize.
Over the past 20 months, only 6 or 7 newborn procedures were performed in Regina. It was over 3 times that number at the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital. Such care for all of Saskatchewan will now be consolidated in Saskatoon.
Their care, if it's consolidated at children's hospitals with specialized teams that do that kind of thing over and over again so that they retain the expertise to do that, that is the principal reason.
It doesn't mean that pediatric care is leaving Regina.
General pediatric care, however, in Regina is continuing. It's broadening. We're bringing more subspecialists into Regina on an annual basis. So we're not shrinking the size of pediatric care in Regina.
The consolidation became public after the NDP obtained a leaked SHA memo from concerned healthcare workers.
We've heard that this will cost lives, that some babies will not make it.
The specialized newborn surgical team in Regina is expected to remain in the city, transferring their skills to assisting other pediatric patients. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
It's the final day of the Saskatchewan Urban Municipalities Association annual meeting in Regina. So we're checking in on progress with some of the mayors in our fine communities. And today it's Jeff from Weyburn. Thank you so much, Mayor Richards, for coming in today.
Thanks for the opportunity, Daryl. I love coming in.
What have the conversations been like over the last couple of days over at Suma?
Yeah, very productive. You know, one of the things that's great about coming together with your peers from across the province, and you know, other provinces are there too, in varying degrees, is that you start to learn that some of the struggles your community's facing aren't that unique. So you're able to learn how folks are dealing with things. Infrastructure, obviously, and healthcare are probably the 2 big ones. Right now, in public safety would be number 3. I don't know if that's the order of severity, but those are the 3 that we're talking about the most.
How valuable are those conversations?
So valuable. It's invaluable. And, you know, we often joke around that sometimes when you're at a conference, the best value is standing around afterwards talking to somebody or having a coffee with a group of peers. And it is valuable to understand how people are deploying their police service differently, or how people are, you know, doing different purchasing for infrastructure projects and that, and it's super helpful.
What have you taken away from the first few days?
Yeah, the first couple of days, I would say, is what I said earlier, is just sitting down to understand that we're not alone.
That's reassuring in a way.
Yeah, it very much is. In some of the successes and some of the struggles, we're not alone. So, you know, we celebrate ourselves and we're growing, but we know we hear of other communities that are starting to do some of the things that we were trying to do as well. So it's just great to know know that there's a support network there.
And a direct ear to some of the decision makers as well.
Yes, a direct ear to the decision makers. The government is always out in force, government and opposition, frankly, both out in force at these events. So it's great. You can pull the health minister aside and have a conversation with them, and that's incredibly valuable.
And there's some good news coming out of this. A major award.
Yeah, an award that we've received for our youth council, and you and I've talked about our youth council lots over time. It's about 8 years ago now we started our youth council. So we, on behalf of the city of Weyburn, accepted a municipal award for our youth council now. So we're very proud of the work that those young people.
And remind people that are watching from across the province what exactly the youth council does.
So what we do is we have a youth council. It's made up of anywhere from 5 to 7 high school students in Weyburn. They have to be grade 10 or higher. And what they do is they come together monthly. They have an agenda of their own. And then every council meeting, a member of the youth council, so the youth mayor comes once, and then they alternate through their councillors. And they're able to give us feedback, and they give us good feedback. And I often say to folks, you know, if you think you're pretty smart, what you ought to do is sit down with a group of 17-year-olds that want you to do something, and you start giving them government speak, and they'll very quickly straighten you out. It's very good.
The 2 best words in sports are Game 7. You got a big one.
Oh,
you try to get back to the title.
We're ready. Coach Mapes has the team ready. We're going to Flin Flon tonight. Game 7, I think they're going to pull it off. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Very quickly, got 30 seconds left. Why does somebody come and visit Weyburn?
Come to Weyburn and experience what we have. Our downtown core is beautiful. Our walking trails are beautiful. Our local shops are unique. Come to Weyburn for a visit. Grab a coffee, grab a bubble tea, and walk around Weyburn.
There's more beyond the KFC buffet that everybody
there
talks
is.
about than Weyburn Red Wings, of course. Mayor Richards, thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks so much. Yep.
All right, let's head back out one more time and catch up with Mike Siona in Prince Albert.
Well, we're joined now by Keegan Basalinski, who is one of the communication specialists here, as we celebrate National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in Prince Albert, but it's, of course, across the province and across the country that we are paying homage to the wonderful work that you guys do. Let's talk about this call center alone, kind of dealing through the northern sections of Saskatchewan. How many calls do you guys take in a year?
So last year, we made it to 52,000 calls, and we're averaging around 1,000 calls per week in our center.
That's absolutely incredible. And you would see the gamut in terms of, actual calls. What types of calls do you guys field?
We have a wide range of calls that we receive, from abdominal pain to, people needing help with bleeding control, to providing CPR instructions, to delivering babies.
I can only imagine. Such a calm demeanor, actually, when you come in here. I'm a little bit shocked, maybe. I just can't get over just how calm and relaxed and matter-of-fact. But that's so critical when dealing in an emergency, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And my partners here, I think we all take pretty good care of each other and making sure we're feeling all right in here, or after a bad call, we're pretty good at helping each other out and maintaining that calm demeanor in here.
Yeah, kind of hit that reset button. Now, if somebody is calling in, obviously they're emotionally charged. What are the most important tips that you would give someone if they find themselves in an emergent situation and they're on the other end of the line that you're answering?
If you're calling for somebody, you're with the patient, I would, try and take a nice deep breath. Remember, you're trying to help that person, and being excited. Being excited doesn't really help the situation. You got to try and stay as calm as possible, and we're here to help you, so help us help you.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. Tremendous stuff. Thank you very much for the work that you guys are doing here. Again, it is National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. We're in Prince Albert. It's been a wonderful and very, very educational morning for us.
Time to say good morning. It is 8:31. We are learning more details about King Charles III's upcoming visit to the U.S. Buckingham Palace announcing this week that the King will address a joint meeting of the U.S. Congress and meet privately with the U.S. President on his state visit. King Charles and Queen Camilla will visit Washington, New York, and Virginia from April 27th to 30th, making a variety of appearances to mark the 250th anniversary of the U.S. independence. The visit comes at a tense time in the relationship between the two countries, countries. President Donald Trump has repeatedly criticized UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer for not offering enough support for his war with Iran. A break at the gas pump is coming next Monday. Prime Minister Mark Carney announced a pause on the federal fuel tax, but there is mixed reaction to the move.
Your car is at a red light for too long, you're like, oh my goodness, my gas is running out.
Bravo to Mark Carney. I think it's good, but I think it should be for all the time.
Sounds like a political game to me. I don't think it's really going to make a big difference. I think we need a long-term solution.
Starting Monday, you can expect to see the pump price drop by 10 cents a litre until Labor Day. Diesel will drop by 4 cents, and airlines will also see some relief on jet fuel. So what does it mean for you? Well, on average, depending on your car, the size of your gas tank, and how much you drive, you could save about $20 a month. The Conservatives say it's not enough and are pushing for gas taxes to be suspended for the rest of the year. Here's our Premier's reaction.
We welcome affordability measures. That's something that we've been focused on in a different way, in cutting income taxes, cutting taxes across the board for Saskatchewan families since we formed government, and always, looking as to, how can we do more, but how can we do more in a permanent and sustainable way.
That was the Premier speaking at SUMA yesterday. He says always looking to do more on affordability while living within its means. One of the most affordable places he still calls Saskatchewan in the entire country. He did not rule out conversations on a break in the provincial fuel tax as part of larger discussions. We have more on our website. Plans are materializing to relocate the Gold Eagle Casino in North Battleford to a new area along Highway 16. Keenan Sorokhan has more on the decades-long journey.
Saskatchewan's newest casino is one step closer to reality. The Gold Eagle Casino in North Battleford will move and see significant upgrades as part of a $100 million casino, convention center, and hotel project.
It's just an unbelievable feeling that the elders gave us a mandate to work and figure out the whole Gold Eagle Casino situation.
Chief Tanya Stone with Mosquito Grizzly Bear's Head Lean Man First Nation says leadership has been working for years to get the casino back under its control and usher in a new era of economic development for her people and the entire area.
We're really optimistic. We want to move this project along. No stops, no delays. The momentum's there.
Working with 20 acres of land on a hill overlooking the North Saskatchewan River, the 200,000 square foot development will create hundreds of construction jobs and 400 long-term jobs once it's ready to open. SIGA expects the project to attract 500,000 visitors each year, with further plans to phase in new development in the future.
My mom would say, sa CPD tamuin. It's when you have an idea and you keep going no matter what.
75 elders have helped guide the design and feel of the project. Guests will enter in a large arrival hall, providing access to the convention center, casino, or hotel from there. There will be ample meeting space and many other features, making this building much more than just a casino for decades to come.
We're always looking to raise our design standard and bring that experience to our customers, so we're really excited what the new Gold Eagle will represent that way.
Graham Construction will begin building in the late fall or early next spring. Construction is expected to take up to a year and a half after that. Keenan Sorokhan, CTV News, Battleford.
A group of high school football players from Saskatchewan heading overseas for a once-in-a-lifetime experience. 46 students from the Institute of Saskatchewan Football are traveling to the UK and Sweden this week. As Carla Shinkaruk found out, they'll be competing against European teams playing American-style football.
It's called the Institute of Saskatchewan Football. Now in its second year, it offers a full semester of high school credit through the Distance Learning Centre in partnership with Saskatoon Minor Football.
They love football. They're here to train.
Teacher Brian Giebert, who played for the Hilltops Huskies and in the CFL with the Blue Bombers, developed the curriculum. Athletes from 6 school divisions across the province train daily. For the first time, they're preparing to head to the UK and Sweden to compete against players from across the world.
Lots of high school kids go on Europe trips, so why not a Europe trip where we get to go play football and compete against some other high school kids that are doing the same thing as us.
The girls play flag football, the boys American-style football in preparation for the European trip.
For the American game, so it's going to be 11 people on the field instead of 12. The field's going to be a little different. There's going to be 4 downs instead of 3. And, you know, that transition has been kind of challenging, but it's also super fun, and it's cool, like, learning a different game.
Students get credits in wellness, leadership, and sports performance while training 5 days a week.
The goal is to just equip these kids with as many tools as possible to have success at any level they pursue.
So these athletes are hopeful this program will open doors that weren't available even a few years ago.
I definitely want to go to the next level, play junior football, even youth sports.
I'm really hoping to come out of this and go somewhere and commit somewhere further, whether that's in the States, in Canada, wherever it is.
And off the field, preparing them for jobs on the business side of football also. For now, they're focused on Europe.
It's super exciting, and just being able to go to Europe, nobody just gets to say that. So it's going to be a great opportunity for all of us.
We're doing something really unique. There's nothing really like this in the rest of the country. So we're trendsetters, I guess.
The team departs Thursday. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Come for the mass, stay for the dinosaur. A set of bones belonging to the biggest known dinosaur is on display inside a cathedral in Peterborough, UK. It's called a titanosaur, but the church's dean has given it a new nickname, the Dinosaur. The bones are on loan from the Natural History Museum to help raise funds for the church. Some police officers in Florida caught this amazing sight on camera. Take a look.
That is so cool.
What am I looking at? Well, the officers were docking and cleaning up one of their boats when a manatee pulled up to steal some of the fresh drinking water. They waited until he'd had his fill and kept going. That being said, they're warning others not to give it to them or encourage manatees to come close to their boats because it puts them in danger. So do as I say, not as I obviously did, filmed and shared with everybody. Let's get to the Weather Center, but before we get to your forecast, Janelle, let's send some people to Italy.
Yeah, you can enjoy some warmer weather. CTV Your Morning with CAA Travel and Colette Tours wants to send you and a guest on a 12-day Italy's treasure trip of a lifetime. Experience incredible history, culture, and cuisine across northern Italy, October 18th to 29th. You can enter online now at ctvsaskatoon.ca or ctvregina.ca and include today's keyword, which is Milan, for a chance to win. Good luck. All right, now back to this cold weather. It doesn't look like it behind me here, but things are going to be cooling off. Getting a little bit cloudier here as the day goes on. Currently here in Regina, 7 degrees. Seeing those wind speeds gradually picking up as the morning goes on. 30-kilometer-per-hour winds. Over to Saskatoon now, 0 degrees. Seeing those 24-kilometer-per-hour winds and some rain. That is how the precipitation is beginning for Saskatoon and surrounding areas. Now, later on tonight and then into early tomorrow morning, we will start to see the snow fall. We can see that here as we go through the futurecast. Here's the systems of snow. We will be seeing 2 of them here today and tomorrow. So quite a bit of snow to be looking forward to. However, we will be seeing that melt quite quickly. Beautiful temperatures are coming next week. For total snowfall amounts here, Swift Current seeing about 21 centimeters, Regina 22, Moose Jaw at 33, Prince Albert 2 centimeters, and Yorkton 7. So wherever you're heading off to tomorrow morning, keep an eye on Highway Hotline. Make sure you're giving yourself a little bit of extra time because things will be slippery. For our current temperatures throughout the province, Buffalo Narrows is at -13, Stony Rapids minus 23, South End minus 17, Spiritwood at -8, Melfort -4, Swift Current at 6 degrees, Moose Jaw 8, Yorkton 6 degrees as well, in Estevan at that 9-degree mark. Now let's take a look at our highs for today. The Battlefords at -2, Prince Albert -5, Swift Current and Moose Jaw both seeing -13 for their high, but quite a bit of wind. Weyburn 16, Estevan 17, and Yorkton 8 degrees. Now for our 5-day forecast here in Regina, 15 degrees will be our high for today. Seeing that sunshine coming out, however, that snow will be making its appearance here tonight and tomorrow, even a little bit into Friday as well. -5 tomorrow for our high, -4 on Friday. Over the weekend is when we start to see those temperatures rise. 2 degrees on Saturday, and Sunday is sitting at 8 degrees for the high. Over to Saskatoon, 1 degree today. Again, seeing a little bit of sunshine, but a little bit of rain as well. And tomorrow, that snow with -6 as the high, -2 on Friday. And over the weekend, seeing those temperatures get a little bit nicer. 3 degrees on Saturday. And Sunday, we're seeing 5 degrees with some sunshine and 0 degrees as the low. Joining us today is Judy Wright with Gateways Counseling to discuss a topic that often gets lost in the rush of our daily lives, yet has the power to transform our mental well-being, the practice of appreciation. Good morning, Judy.
Good morning, Janelle.
Let's start off with a little bit of an overview on what appreciation is.
Yeah, for sure. There's a few different ways of looking at it, but one is kind of an act and an emotional experience of appreciation, acknowledgement, and gratitude. And then it's also the act when we actually acknowledge really good qualities in something or someone that we really like. And then Covey had a really interesting way of looking at things. He said that our most basic needs is to be survive, but beyond that, the next most important needs are psychological, and that's to be appreciated, validated, and understood.
And what are some of the benefits of practicing appreciation?
Oh, so many. For sure, it improves your physical and emotional health. It really strengthens your social relationships, and it does that by reducing stress, improving your sleep. People report that they're sleeping deeper and longer with less rumination. It strengthens those relationships because we're sharing that appreciation, so it acts like glue. It decreases our stress cortisol, and then it improves our dopamine and serotonin, which is our feel-good neurotransmitters. And then it really builds that emotional resilience because we're not focusing on social comparison. We're really focusing on more of our good qualities. And then if you practice it on a longer basis, you're really forming that base of more happiness. You're experiencing more joy, satisfaction, improved heart health, less envy. And then for people that have chronic pain, they're actually reporting less incidence of chronic pain, and there actually is less inflammation. And then finally, there's a reduction for stress and anxiety because we're focusing less on the negative thoughts and more on the here and now.
All right, so some really great benefits to this. What are a few ways that people can practice appreciation?
Oh, there's some fun ways. So we can do journaling, but you want to make it fun. You don't want to make a chore. So if it's going to be that, put it away for a while, come back to it. But try to start with it with maybe some focus about, hey, what did I really enjoy today? Or what spoke to me? Or did someone give me a compliment? Or did I have a good giggle today? So maybe focus on some of those things, which can lead us kind of into mindfulness. So maybe we could sit in the day a little bit, and if it's not snowing, we could maybe appreciate the outside. Maybe we've got like a thought of somewhere where we've been we can kind of focus on. Maybe we've got some kids that we could watch they're playing around, or maybe we've got a pet that we can cuddle. And then also we could really share some of our appreciation and acknowledgement with others. So maybe do some deep diving inside and think about not just a thank you, but what are some qualities or characteristics you really express. And then we could really work on our negativity, like trying to reframe that, maybe look more on our own strengths, our resilience, and what we carry into situations.
This is some really great information, Judy. Thank you so much for coming out this morning.
Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. Painting, sculpting, acting, and even film. For over 40 years, David Garneau has explored many forms of art. The Métis artist who now calls Regina home just had an exhibit open up in Calgary, using painting to explore contemporary Indigenous people and colonialism.
Métis artist David Garneau is in his Regina studio surrounded by works in progress. Over the years, he has gone through different style phases. Right now, he is painting in a realistic and highly detailed format.
The reason why I paint photorealistically these days, I don't always paint that way, is because I want them to be almost sculptural and I want you to feel it so you can have the emotions as if it was a real object that you could touch.
Garneau was once into creating bigger paintings. During the pandemic, he moved to smaller projects, while at the same time focusing more on idea generating. In doing so, his production has stepped up, posting a new painting every Monday for the past 6 years.
I'm not second guessing. There were times before where, I'm not going to paint that, that's just too silly. And now I paint everything that really seems to work for me, and it keeps me on track.
Garneau has been creating art his entire life. At 18 years old, he had his first solo show in Edmonton. Since then, he has curated more than 24 exhibitions. Reading the Ruins and Dark Chapters, his most recent exhibitions, are currently on display in Calgary.
You look at the work digitally and you think that it's photorealistic. Then you arrive and actually see the painting. There really is that aha factor and the ability to slow down and get drawn in. That's a sign of great art.
Garneau paints at least 20 hours a week. He is a professor at the University of Regina. Next, he wants to incorporate academic ideas into future projects, a direction he says could get more people talking.
I can write that in a paper and 5 academics will read it, or I can make it into a painting and talk about the painting. And so I think it's part of this long continuum of being an educator and a thinker.
Garneau's exhibitions are at U Calgary Founders Gallery at the Military Museums until August 30th.
If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle is brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
Okay, so this is crazy. It's 1992, and you're looking at rare footage of Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, and the NBA's Seattle Supersonics practicing at a high school gym in Saskatoon in 1992. What are they doing there? Well, they were in the city for a preseason game against the Denver Nuggets on October 28th of that year. It was the first ever NBA exhibition game ever held at Saskatchewan Place, now called Sastel Centre. Before the game was officially booked, newspaper reports at the time revealed arena officials were concerned about the possibility that ticket prices could run as high as $45 for courtside and $10 in the upper deck. Anyways, on the other side of the court from the Supersonics was superstar Dikembe Mutombo for the Nuggets. Fans were treated to an intense affair, considering it was a preseason game, which even involved a bit of a pushing match between Kemp and Mutombo. Kemp would score 24 points and notch 10 rebounds, while Gary Payton added 16, leading the Supersonics to a 107-89 win. And if you want to check out more classic sports moments from the days of Wilco and wood finish televisions, you can check them out on our website.
Now to some wild adventures with a parrot.
ABC's Danny New met a parrot who now has his own submarine.
Yep, his name is BB, and he's from Iowa, but he recently got to explore the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, boy.
You might be looking at history right now, because yes, that is a parrot exploring the Atlantic Ocean in a DIY submarine.
He is very comfortable with that. I'm his buddy.
Iowan Stephen Lawyer didn't want to leave his 6-year-old pal BB alone when he went to the Bahamas for a month. So the former physics major instead invented a contraption he calls the Bebosphere.
It's not full of air right now, but it's at 3,000 PSI, the same as a scuba tank.
For the record, this is not the first time Stephen assembled a contraption for BB.
You skydive!
He also created a Beeble so they could go skydiving together. He says they've now gone 15 times.
When I'm going to jump, he will go in there voluntarily. He lets us know if he wants to go.
Over the past week or so, this video has picked up millions of views online with varying reactions. One commenter writing, "Love it," while another says, "I'm not really sure he wants that."
Couple comments from people who did not like this concept.
No, I get it. Was BB at risk while in the submarine? My answer is very, very, very low because of all the precautions I took. Here you go. Ready? Go.
Overall, Stephen just feels all this inventing is worth it if he doesn't have to leave his best bud in a cage. I mean, if Stephen's not there, who's going to feed him cashews?
But look at his manners there. He'll hold the cashew in his foot while he eats it.
I know he went underwater, but this is way cooler to me.
Stephen said he and BB practiced a bunch with the Bebosphere in the sink at home and says he didn't show any signs of distress in the Bahamas. Stephen says he mostly just looked engaged and seemed to just be enjoying the view. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Some people have too much money. Do you ever think that some people just have too much cash?
Yeah.
They're setting a $2,000 parrot down in the submarine?
Yeah.
No? No, it's just like, am I the only one?
No, I see it.
No, you are not.
Feel a little curmudgeon-y saying it. Let's get to Sidebar. This is a specific story for you.
Okay, so
baby. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No. I was just gonna say this is about Baby Punch. So this is about Baby Punch. Take it away. Take it away.
Yes. No. This is all about. Sorry, you're the Baby Punch expert.
She's got tears coming in her eyes, so I better read it.
I know.
Baby monkey at a zoo in Mexico has been given his own teddy bear. They're connecting really well. Teddy is meant to be a companion since its inexperienced mom is unable to care for it. So the monkey is doing well. Zookeepers are giving him formula, vitamins, protein to keep him healthy. There's a second monkey with a stuffy.
I love them. There's nothing in the world that I want more than all of these monkeys to be happy.
Okay, before she cries, Jeremy, take us to the Louvre.
All right, they're launching a new exhibition at the Louvre that will see sculptures by Michelangelo and Rodin side by side. It's like the superstars of sculptures. Exhibition's meant to examine their shared vision of the human body. It's called Living Bodies. More than 200 works. Of course, Michelangelo and Rodin separated by nearly 4 centuries, but both considered pivotal figures in the evolution of sculpting.
That one on the left-hand side of your screen, that one right there, the throbbing biceps, that's me. That's how I would look at sculpture form.
You're the model, clearly. Yeah.
I'm not that old, but yeah.
I've seen your Peloton posts.
You're welcome. You're
Looks
welcome.
just like you.
I'm deep in that cult. How about an annual spring event getting people outside in Germany? Can't confirm this is where producer Nathan is this week. Maybe salsa dancing with his ancestors on the streets of Germany.
Wow. That looks like fun. I'd do it.
It's part of the Cherry Blossom event.
Yeah.
I'd be into that.
I love it. Look how packed it is, too. Everyone's just enjoying themselves.
I like the other one in Spain where they have this many people and it's a big tomato fight.
Yes.
That's messy and dangerous.
This is a little tamer than that.
Enjoy this day before the snow comes, and remember, it's all Janelle's fault.